And then I just stuffed the ball gag right into his mouth and said, "Silence, Cleveland!"
It works every time. Oh, welcome back to, welcome for the first time to episode 135
Because every episode is someone's first episode.
of Welcome Back to the Big Damn Cast.
Yes. Editor's note. You can find out what we're talking about if you listen to issue 423.
I do miss those editor's notes. They pop up every now and again, but they're not such a thing anymore.
Well, I was just saying to you, I've been reading Peter Parker's Spectacular Spider-Man from the start, the run that started in, 2017?
Yeah, the Chip Zdarsky run.
And he does it too much.
I
Like,
read
he
the
does it
first
as a gag, and then
That
it
is-
keeps happening.
That is Chip Zdarsky's sense of humour.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
that
like,
is straight up his sense of humour.
it's like, dude, pull back, pull
Yeah,
back. You've
is.
got me interested in this really cool new version of the Vulture. Like, pull back. Say new version. They just put a helmet on him.
There is. I've been catching up on Dan Slott's Spider-Man, on Dan Slott's Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
His current Fantastic Four run, and one of the early issues, part of the Fantastic Four getting back to the 616.
Yeah.
Is they call up all the members of the Fantastic Four, past and present.
Okay, it's like She-Hulk, Herbie,
Everyone.
Lady Thing.
All the replacement things, Lady Thing, She-Hulk, everyone.
Is she
All
still
the-
stuck in that suit then? Is that a thing?
The new Fantastic Four for the Ghost Rider Wolverine. Yeah.
Oh, snap. Spidey involved?
Spidey's always involved. But Iceman's there.
Oh, aye. Sman?
Iceman. Sman.
Sman. Old Bobby Sman.
And Johnny Storm is furious because he is adamant that one time does not make him a full member.
Oh, is it like a one-time stand-in? Brilliant.
And it's actually Dan's seeding for a future story. Because we haven't seen that story.
Oh!
And he makes explicit reference in it to the fact that we've not seen that story yet. And we will see it
Okay, that makes me happy.
at some point next year.
Oh, quick question. I've just
Yes.
randomly remembered. Frightful Four.
Yes.
Was Medusa a member of the Frightful Four at one point?
I read their first appearance last night.
Oh, was Medusa in it?
Yes.
Why?
Because she was created before any of the Inhumans.
Oh, so she was retroactively
When
put
she
into
joins the
Inhumans
Frightful...
continuity.
Oh, fucking hell, we've gone off on a tangent before we even got to
Right.
the
So first,
No, it's fine.
First
It's
Frightful
fine.
Four lineup
Which
is
like
Wizard.
It's like FF36 or something, or 35.
It's Wizard, Medusa,
Sandman, and Paste Pot Pete.
Paste Pot Pete.
He's still Paste Pot Pete at that point. He's not going by the Trapster yet.
Right, and Sandman is in his weird Fantastic Four only costume at this
Where
point.
he's purple.
Yeah, and he's got like an outfit.
It's exactly the same, like, line-wise as his classic look, but it's just all purple.
Yeah, and then he appears in Avengers because he becomes an Avenger at one point, doesn't he? We're talking like late 70s, early 80s, and he's in sort of a green version of that same kind of outfit.
I guess.
And neither of these outfits have ever made an appearance in his main book, Spider-Man.
Yes.
Ever.
But when
He's got his own life outside of Spider-Man's circle, okay? He doesn't need to conform to Spidey's desires, the filth.
When Wizard goes to recruit Medusa in FF36 or 35, I've got it on my tablet right here. It's in the I've got hold of Epic
God,
Collections.
it's straight up a new thing already.
That's their next appearance.
Oh God! For those wondering, you're listening to Big Damn Cast.
Yes.
I'm Chris Johnson. The lovely man to my right, or in your left ear, is Matthew Watson.
Paste Pot Pete by any other name.
We are going to be talking about some new releases, the Oscar buzz, bit of Netflix news. Matt's going to lose his mind over Glass.
So much.
Plus some of your input towards Thend, because you know we do love you, but you know wait your turn. But first,
this is the Volume 3 of the Fantastic Four Epic Collections, which is
that Wizard and his civvies?
No, that's a different story. I'm
I was going to say,
I'm trying to find
dude with the similar mustache and a purple-green colour scheme.
I'm on the page preview trying to find the Medusa's first appearance. Because it is.
I was playing Lego Marvel Superheroes last night, and there's a lot of Inhumans content in there. Like, there's a lot of Inhumans.
It's almost
content.
like they were really trying to make the Inhumans a thing for a while.
And it's not bad content. I'd argue it's better than the. I'd argue it's better than the MCU take on the Inhumans.
Well,
mostly because one of Black Bolt's super moves is he just sort of goes.
I mean,
and that creates like a ripple that knocks people back for miles.
Being kicked up the backside is better than being kicked in the dick. So
that's very true. Dragon Man.
Hey! Dragon Man.
God, I love Fantastic Four. It's
and then
so good.
Yeah, that's Diablo. Diablo brings Dragon Man to life, and then I think it's the next issue.
Diablo. Oh,
yeah, Frightful Four.
Diablo's the alchemist.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah,
again, purple and green.
It's 36.
They're all purple and green.
They're all purple.
They're all purple and green.
All purple and green.
Oh
we'll get to that later on.
Oh, I see. Purple and green.
Fantastic Four 36. Frightful Four. First.
I'm sorry. What's Medusa swinging from?
Her hair.
Yeah, but from what?
Just her hair.
She doesn't mind Paste Pot Pete.
Paste Pot Pete is hanging off her hair.
For those who don't know, Medusa is someone with like sentient's the wrong word. Like tactile, posable hair that is super strong, and she can use it to attack people.
This is her original origin.
Oh my god!
Pre-Inhumans.
Oh, so did they retcon this later?
Yes.
Okay.
This is Wizard. I had heard rumours of her for years. Finally, I went to the small Mediterranean island where she had been last seen. I found that the police were also on her trail. Take cover, stranger! There is much danger in this place! Where is Francois? She shall not escape us again! We have her trapped now! I am here, mon capitan! But help! She has caught me! Come quick! And it's this police guy getting dragged into this cave by hair.
By some hair.
and it's just like, fool, it is I, Madame Medusa, who has trapped you! Of what use are your clumsy guns and fists against my unconquerable hair?
Trust us. It is cool. It can be cool, guys. It can really be. Medusa is a very cool visual character, which the MCU failed to understand.
I also read the Fantastic Four wedding special recently.
Oh, yes.
Because Alicia and Ben are finally getting married. And there is Alicia's hen night.
Oh, snap.
With Medusa and Crystal and Sue Storm and Jennifer Walters.
Hey!
And She-Hulk, for those who don't know, and other people who I'm not as familiar with. But yeah,
other folks
who
wombs.
don't seem to be superhero-y types.
Other
they just seem to be people.
Look at these wombs.
Yeah, like her art school friends and stuff.
Who are the men's who go out on the stag?
I've not seen the stag. It's not in the wedding special.
Oh, okay.
So it might be in the issue proper. You see Johnny going out to get snacks for it and booze.
It's just a weird thought, isn't it?
But yeah,
Johnny Storm going out to get booze. Why not?
In full flame on mode.
Well, that's a terrible decision.
That doesn't be sensible.
That's a fucking awful decision.
Speaking of terrible decisions, they're doing another Oscars.
And it's being hosted by the Concept of Hosts.
The Concept of Hosts. All hosts.
Yeah, there's no confirmation yet, is there? But I think the last thing that we heard was it was going to be, instead of having a host, it was going to have segments, and essentially each award setup was going to be just a little bit longer with a bit more spiel from the guests who were presenting the award.
Probably.
That's probably a smart call, but it also means that they'll probably never do an Oscar host ever again if they get into a pattern with this.
It's almost like we don't need one. It's almost like we don't need this whole thing. Don't tell anyone.
Especially not Harvey Weinstein.
It doesn't matter about Harvey. He's been cancelled. So here is the list of nominations for the Oscars 2019, the 91st Annual Academy Awards, which is going to take place on February 24th, so it's still like just over a month away.
And we can all watch it in the UK
at 2 in the morning.
Through an illegal stream at 2 in the morning, or do what I've done for the last 5 years since doing that just once. And just waking up in the morning, looking at the news.
Check Twitter. So, Best Picture. 8 nominees in this category, because it's been fairly fluid for the last few years.
Yeah, it's gone from 5 to 10 to...
There was talk of doing a Best Popular Film category this year.
Yeah, and the belief was that was to cater to films like Black Panther that people felt the Oscars would be too sort of snobby about.
But they didn't do that.
No.
And they just straight up nominated Black Panther for Best Picture.
As well they should. Do I think it deserves to be nominated the Best Picture as a film? Maybe not. I really dig that movie, but I'll hear what the rest of the list is.
Black Klansman.
Okay, yeah.
Which
dark
really
comedy
love.
based on real events.
Yeah. Bohemian Rhapsody.
Nope. Get to fuck.
The Favourite. Maybe.
Yeah, I've heard good stuff. But put it this way. The notion of a film where Olivia Colman plays the main character winning Best Picture is something that makes me very happy. Simply because I think
she's the main character, but she is, yeah.
Yeah, but yeah. I think back to...
Yeah.
I think back to her being like, one of the cast on like that Mitchell and Webb look, and the thought that she's now like the face of a potential Oscar-winning Best Picture makes me very happy.
Yes.
Hit me with others. Hit me.
Green Book.
Yeah. Oh, the film of Viggo Mortensen really put his fucking foot in it this last week.
Oh God, I've not even seen this.
Yeah. Someone basically said like, do you think like it's a white filmmaker, like white writer, white director? Do you think it's their place to tell this story? And he makes a comment.
What did you say, Viggo?
He makes a comment that basically is, and it's at a round table with other filmmakers, and like Chadwick Boseman's like at the table. His facial reaction to this is amazing. He basically says it's an amazing story, and like if a black gentleman had seen the story of a white person in real life and was like, I really want to tell that story, why should we stop them from telling that story? And it's like, right, I can see what point you're trying to make, Viggo. I can see what point you're trying to make, but no. Sit down, Viggo. Sit. Stop it, Viggo Mortensen. Because it's like, I see what you're trying to say, but what you should say is, I'm just happy we get to tell the story, and, this is this take. Hopefully someone else will have a go at it another time, and whatever, and I think we get the point across, and the culture is more important in the overall thing here, and this, that, and the other. I think the director's done a really good job, and the piece speaks for itself. Say that. Just say that, and move the fuck on.
Yes.
Don't say that, like, real life stories can be appropriated with such casual ease. Please, Viggo.
But...
Please. He is Viggo. We are like the buzzing of flies to him.
Apparently so.
I still want to see it, to be fair. I still want to see the Green Book.
Closing out category, we have Roma, which I know naff all about. A Star is Born, because of course.
A Star is Beyond.
And Vice, because they love a movie where Christian Bale gets all fucked up and looks weird. But now he's doing an impression of Dick Cheney. So
not that far removed from his own mentality, really.
Well, they did a thing, like the Vice marketing team did a thing on Twitter the other day of like, what's Dick Cheney's thoughts on Brexit? And it's like an in-character from, like, a handwritten note from the Dick Cheney of Vice, not the real Dick Cheney of...
So Christian Bale wrote these little things
No. It's just a marketing thing.
Oh.
But it's just like,
please
they
don't.
think it's cute to make
is it cute to make Dick Cheney a wacky character?
Brexit. It's like, fuck off. So that's the best picture. Best director noms. Alfonso Cuarón for Roma.
I like Alfonso Cuarón's direction, so...
But I know nothing about Roma. Yorgos Lanthimos for The Favourite. Spike Lee for Black Klansman. I think it's his first Best Director nomination. Yeah, first Best Director nom.
Hot diggity!
So fingers crossed for him on that one. Adam McKay for Vice. I don't think...
Technically he'd be nominated for it being his joint. Right?
Well, quite.
Spike Lee joint.
And Pavel Polikovsky. I think I'm saying that right.
For
Cold War. Which again, I know nothing about.
Look
up Cold War for me.
Cold War.
Best Actress.
Me.
Yalitza Aparicio for Roma.
Okay.
Glenn Close for The Wife. Olivia Colman for The Favourite. Is she The Favourite? And Lady Gaga for A Star Is Born. And Melissa McCarthy for Can You Ever Forgive Me?
Saw the trailer for that. Really want to see it because I hate lie revealed stories. I think they're really boring. We've seen them a million times. It's the same. It's a very tried, tested, and like now boring emotional journey. It's the same journey every time. However, something about the trailer, hers and Richard E. Grant's performances make me really want to see this.
Yes. Best Actor. Oh, this is a yawn fest. Christian Bale for Vice, yawn.
Fest.
Bradley Cooper for A Star Is Born,
Fest.
Yawn. William Dafoe at Eternity's Gate, what? Rami Malek for Bohemian Rhapsody.
Fair enough.
Like, if you're going to give an award to that film, that kind of has to be it.
Yeah. Make sure the performance outlives the movie.
And Viggo Mortensen for Green Book. Don't let him make a speech. Best Supporting Actress.
Oh, by the way, Cold War is a Polish historical period drama film.
Okay.
Cool.
Best Supporting Actress. Amy Adams for Vice. Marina de Tavira for Roma. Regina King for If Beale Street Could Talk. And Emma Stone.
Would say, "Ow, stop walking on me."
Yes.
That's a stolen joke.
That's terrible. Emma Stone for The Favourite. And Rachel Weisz for The Favourite.
Oh, that's
So
a
double
that is
favourite.
interesting.
A double favourite.
Heightens the chances of that movie being an Oscar-winning film as well, then.
Yes. Best Supporting Actor. We got Mahershala Ali for Green Book.
Nice.
Adam Driver for Black Klansman.
Mm-hmm.
Sam Elliott for A Star Is Born. Richard E. Grant for Can You Ever Forgive Me? And Sam Rockwell for Vice. Could this be Sam Rockwell's year, finally?
Probably not, because it never bloody is.
Fucking love Adam Driver to get it, though. Yes. Best Original Screenplay. The Favourite.
No.
For Deborah Davis and Tony McNamara.
I'm not seeing it. No.
Paul Schrader for First Reformed. I don't know if... my problem with The Favourite is it doesn't end, it just finishes. Green Book, Nick Vallelonga, Brian Hayes Curry and Peter Farrelly. Roma, Alfonso Cuarón. And Vice, Adam McKay.
I think we might need to see Roma. And also, it's the typical Oscars thing. It's the typical Oscars thing of every year there's like 5 movies that the ceremony sucks the dick of. And it's because these are the movies that have been sold the biggest by the producers in the studio personally to the Academy. That's why. Not to take away any quality from the films.
I know, you look at Vice and you go, that is an award bait movie.
Oh, God, yeah.
Like American Hustle was a couple of years back.
Yeah.
With like all the performances look, because they all look so different and they're in period stuff and isn't Christian Bale fat?
What was the one that Oldman got the nomination stuff for everything last year?
Darkest Hour.
Darkest Hour.
It was Gary Oldman doing his best acting. He's in Winston Churchill drag.
And a lot of it's the timing. You'll notice a lot of the movies that end up going up the Best Picture came out in the month and a half before the Oscars because they want it to be fresh in the minds of the Academy as they go, oh shit, the deadline's here, I've not put my vote in yet.
Because they're all old, dusty white dudes.
You know, apparently, the deadline for it was like a month ago, I think.
Oh, okay.
For getting the submissions in from the majority of the Academy.
Yeah.
And as such... Stan and Ollie lost out on this year.
Yeah.
Just missed it.
Vice isn't even out over here yet.
That's right. It got Golden Globe noms, so
it's
very good, is what I'm getting. So spoilers for later. It's very good.
We're gonna get to Stan and Ollie.
It's very good.
Best Adapted Screenplay: Star Is Born, Eric Roth, Bradley Cooper. Ballad of Buster Scruggs, Joel and Ethan Coen.
Oh, a Netflix film.
Yes.
Nice.
But I think it must have got a cinematic release for it to be eligible, though. Because that was the whole thing with Behind the Candelabra a few years back.
And
Ouija
or whatever it was called.
Yeah.
The Okja, whatever it's called, the one about the animal.
Okja,
that's it. Because that was the thing that he had, like, screenings after the deadline or something like that, so it missed out on something. I can't remember now.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, hey, films are films, you know what I'm saying? And the way they're distributed just changes how people get them, but if they're still a motion picture, then go for it.
Yes.
Straight to DVD things should be eligible as well.
Yes.
So Nicolas Cage can have 80 films in the running.
Hilarious. Black Klansman, Charlie Vachtel, David Rabinowitz, with Kevin Wilmot and Spike Lee. If Beale Street Could Talk, Barry Jenkins, Can You Ever Forgive Me, Nicole Hoffelsner and Jeff Whitty.
Let's makeup and hairstyling.
Yeah, let's whiz through the technical ones.
Let me guess, Dick Cheney's in there though, isn't he?
Oh yeah,
of course he fucking is.
Vice.
Only 3 films.
Yeah, Vice, Mary Queen of Scots because they made Margot Robbie look like Lena Headey, and
but Lena Headey like under layers of makeup.
Yeah,
like, Lena Headey does not look pasty white. And
no,
crusty.
No, and Border, which is that weird Scandinavian film about possibly the missing link.
Yeah.
But they don't know that the missing link. They just think they're ugly.
Oh.
Moviebot did a review of it.
I need to watch that.
It's I think I need
not
to
the film, the review.
Yeah, I think I need to watch the film. Best costume designs: Buster Scruggs,
Black Panther. Yes, absolutely.
Panther.
Mary Poppins Returns as well. Yes, that is a gorgeous looking film, and the costumes are amazing in it.
Mary Queen of Scots. Everyone wears frocks.
Is that the full title?
So most costume design, and the favourite again. Most costume design, because fucking look at that picture of Nicholas Hoult in a wig.
Oh, Jesus wept. I love that. It's like, best costume design and award for the most costume design.
Like, the best for the technical awards often mean the most.
The fucking most awards go to...
Best cinematography, not most cinematography. The favourite, Never Look Away, Roma, A Star Is Born, Cold War.
Sure. Best original song. Okay, hit me.
All the Stars from Black Panther.
Oh! Really?
Music by Mark Spears, Kendrick
Really?
Lamar.
That's interesting, because that's the least Kendrick Lamar song on the soundtrack,
Yes.
and he's like the curator of the soundtrack.
Yes.
Then again, it is a great song. I would like to see that win.
I'll Fight from RBG,
Mm-hmm.
which I think is a thing about Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
Oh, right.
Because that's who's in the picture. The Place Where Lost Things Go from Mary Poppins Returns.
Really? Is that the only one from Mary Poppins Returns
Yep.
nominated? See, I would have put The Cover Is Not the Book, which is the breakout sequence in the film. That's a shame, that. That song's really sweet. It's a melancholy kind of...
Well, that'd be why. They
Stay
love
Awake
fucking
kind of
melancholy
song.
Stay Awake songs. Like, they love that shit at the Academy. They've nothing not predictable. Shallow from A Star Is Born.
Yeah. That's going to get it.
And When a Cowboy Trades His Spurs for Wings from The Ballad of Buster Scruggs.
No, Shallow's going to get it.
Of course. Best Original Score.
Okay.
Black Panther, Ludwig Göransson. Black Klansman, Terrence Blanchard. If Beale Street Could Talk, Nicholas Britell. Isle of Dogs, Alexandra Desplat. And Mary Poppins Returns, Mark.
That could go any way.
Shaven.
I've not heard Isle of Dogs, but Black Panther soundtrack, in terms of the score, is astounding. Like, it is gorgeous. The Afrofuturism theming in it is beautiful.
In all aspects of the production design.
Oh yeah, but in that score, like, you can listen to the isolated score, and it's a whirlwind. I think Mary Poppins will get that simply because it's very old Hollywood.
Yes, and they love that.
It works
shit.
really well in the film.
Yeah.
It's a dick sucking move from the Academy.
Definitely. Best documentary feature. I don't know any of these. Free Solo, Hale County This Morning, This Evening, Minding the Gap, of Fathers and Sons, and RBG, which is it's definitely a Ruth Bader Ginsburg thing.
So the original song will be a song commissioned for the documentary.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
Best animated feature.
Okay, hit me.
Incredibles 2.
Mm-hmm.
Isle of Dogs.
Mm-hmm.
Marai.
Oh, is that the one with the little brother and his sister dies and then she could... No, his sister visits him, but it's her in the future. His little baby sister visits him in the future. If so, it looks really cool.
Ralph Breaks the Internet. And Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
If Spider-Verse doesn't get it, it'll be a fucking travesty. But I guarantee it won't get it.
The only film in there that might have a chance of taking it from Spider-Verse legitimately is probably Isle of Dogs. And I haven't seen Isle of Dogs, but I know Wes Anderson's work, and I know that the Academy kind of have a soft spot for him.
Yeah, and also just stop motion.
Yes,
to that degree of technical execution should always be celebrated. That being said, if you're going off of what's the best movie there, as well as what is visually the best thing in terms of animation, it's Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
Like, it's Spider-Verse. The experimentation done to make that thing is astounding. You bastards.
You bastards.
You big old bastards. You dirty old bastards.
Best foreign language film. None of these that we don't... I mean, we've heard about Cold War and Roma, because they've been all over the place. Capernaum, Never Look Away, Shoplifters, Cold War... No, I don't know foreign language films. What do you want me to say?
Something in a foreign language. Go.
Yes.
Mia Bella. Pasta.
Terrible. Best sound mixing, Black Panther, Bohemian Rhapsody, First Man, Roma, Star Is Born. This is all technical stuff. No one cares about these, apart from sound editors. Best sound editing, Black Panther, Bohemian Rhapsody, First Man, Quiet Place, Roma, etc., etc.
Quiet Place. I mean, come on, if a Quiet Place doesn't get that...
Yeah.
Oh my god. Mostly because A, it is beautifully executed sound editing, and B, because the majority of the work is, like, complete silence.
Yes.
And that would be wonderful if they were like, yeah, we got the Oscar for doing half a film.
That'd
be great.
I like it. Best production design.
I'm surprised that's the only one A Quiet Place is up for, actually.
So far. I don't know if it comes on again later. Best production design. Black Panther. The Favourite. First Man. Mary Poppins Returns. And Roma.
Just give it to Black Panther, guys. Just give it to Black Panther.
Just give it to Black Panther. Best visual effects. This is where all the popular movies go. Avengers Infinity War.
Yes, please.
Christopher Robin.
Yeah. I mean, against Avengers? No, Avengers beats it, but yes.
First Man.
I've not seen it, but couldn't judge.
Ready Player One.
Now. Does this award also consider best as the fucking most?
Yeah,
if
probably.
it does, Ready Player One's got this.
Yeah, probably.
And what's the last nom?
Solo, a Star Wars story. Isn't that a shot?
Well, that's interesting because Solo and Ready Player One both suffer from the same thing. They're under a filter. Ready Player One's under a purple filter, and Solo's under an orange filter for the majority of its movie.
Yes.
Shame.
Best film editing: Black Klansman, Bohemian Rhapsody, The Favourite, Green Book, Vice. Should not go to Bohemian Rhapsody. Again, best editing is not most editing. That film had the most edits. Best animated short: Animal Behaviour, Bow, Late Afternoon, One Small Step, and Weekends.
Not seen these, but what I love about the best animated short nomination is it usually means I end up going to watch all of them to see what the deal is.
The only one I've seen is Bow, because that's the one that was before Incredibles 2.
Oh, the dumpling!
Yeah.
Yes, no, I have seen that.
That
was very good.
That is something.
Would you say it was sweet and yet savoury?
Best live action short.
No.
Best live action short: Detainment, Fauve, Marguerite, Mother, and Skin. Now, there's been some controversy about this because Detainment is a dramatisation of the murder and the apprehension of the murderers of James Bulger using the original police transcripts.
Oh, that's
It's pissed some people off.
Yeah, that's
understandably
fucking uncomfortable.
Best documentary short: Black Sheep, Endgame, Lifeboat, Night at the Garden, period, end of sentence. And that's it. Period, end of sentence. That's all of them.
That's literally the last nomination on the list.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, Black Panther is getting some recognition.
7 noms for Black Panther.
7 nom. Nom.
No.
The Oscars!
Black Panther.
Do they matter? No! But they gave us something to talk about in January!
Hollywood! Glitz and glamour, boys and girls! Glitz and glamour!
Christopher.
Mattstopher.
Shazam!
Don't say it out loud, you'll transform!
Into... will I transform into or back to?
Well, you're a man-child, so technically, I guess you transform into a child with the mind of a man. A child man.
Oh god, that sounds horrific. New trailer came out.
Yes.
It
looks like a preview thing, isn't it? It's like look at our new movie, Shazam. It's like...
Speaking of which, fucking... Before we get... When I went to see Glass last night,
yeah.
The trailers part of the pre-show opened with James Cameron and Robert Rodriguez talking about Battle Angel, and how amazing it's going to be,
right? And
how James Cameron wanted to do it for so long, but then he got all caught up in doing loads of avatars, and the only person he trusted to do it was Robert Rodriguez. After Robert Rodriguez proved that he had a thing for the, and it's just them sucking each other's dicks about how great this film's going to be. And then you get another short trailer for it afterwards with Robert Rodriguez going, "Yo, book tickets for Battle Angel Alita and you'll get a free poster."
What?
And I was like, fuck off!
This feels so desperate.
Yep.
Which is weird, because the first and second trailer for that movie make it look really interesting.
People really want us to go and see
Battle Angel. Which has been put back like twice.
Yeah. But...
Once for production reasons and once for rescheduling?
Yeah, plus the 10 or so years that James Cameron's been trying to get it made. Prior to that.
It does look really cool.
It looks interesting. We'll talk about that.
But I ain't running to get that free poster, son.
We'll talk about that when we get to it. Anyway, back to Shazam trailer.
Yeah.
Yes.
This looks fun as fuck.
Yes.
We've already said this after Comic-Con last year, that the Shazam's tone is perfect. And it's pissing a lot of people off. A lot of people going like, "It looks really dumb." It's like,
yes,
yeah,
it's Shazam.
What the fuck do you want? The same people read Captain Marvel Shazam comics and go, "Oh my god, yeah, this is like the coolest, most badass thing ever," or do they go, "This is really fun"?
I think those people are the people whose only exposure to Shazam has been Captain Marvel in Kingdom Come.
Or his face being melted off in Injustice.
All that.
He gets the best death in that story.
Yeah, there is
it's horrific.
that. Yeah, let's not.
No.
Let's not go dark and gritty with Shazam.
I would like to buy some of your finest beer, please.
Fuck it, he's just got it spot on. He's just got the tone spot on.
It's so great. My favorite Shazam to this point, and this was very much going down that same route, to me, is the one we meet in Young Justice. Especially the 2 episodes where he's put in charge of looking out after the group. Like he's the league member who's looking out for them, and it's so good. It's so good because the show at no point prior to that explains who he is or what his deal is.
No.
So the teens, because Young Justice is effectively like a different version of Teen Titans.
Yeah, aren't they? Wouldn't they all be older than him?
Yeah. Yeah,
fantastic.
And it's great because it doesn't explain what it is, so they all just think that he's trying to be cool and down with the kids, and they think it's really embarrassing. And like I'm sat there going, "This is brilliant!" Because of course, a couple of episodes later, they go into Billy Batson's thing a bit more because he becomes part of one of the stories.
Yeah.
So if you were watching Young Justice and you knew nothing about him, at that point you go, "Oh!" But it's just such a great dynamic, and it's so much fun.
That sounds pretty great.
That's what this looks like it's doing. Like it's going for the fun of it all. That shot of Billy leaping off the building and yelling Shazam and transforming mid-fall and then holding in the air for just a second before shooting off. Looks so good.
If this movie turns out to be great, that could potentially become one of the iconic shots of superhero cinema.
Oh god, yeah. Well, I really like that one from the first trailer, the one where he's at the fairground, he's walking forward and Shazam bolt hits him and he just carries on walking.
Yeah.
It's such a seamless transition.
Yeah. I really hope this is
Mark
good.
Strong looks like he's having a ball.
But when doesn't he?
Getting to play his 3rd comic book supervillain.
When does Mark Strong not look like he's having a ball? I have never seen Mark Strong be something and look checked out.
That's very true.
And he's been in some
shit. But he's always great, and that's the beauty of it. You know it's a good casting when he's involved.
Yeah, it's the But Mark Strong game.
I know it's the the But Mark Strong. Or the Toby Jones. Or Noby Jones.
Brilliant.
Oh god, I'm happy to find out that Simon Mayo is still doing his movie show with Mark Commode.
Yes.
Even though the 2 of them are moving to that classical radio station.
Yeah, but they're not moving.
Mark Commode is as well.
They're not moving there with a review show.
No, they're moving there with their own
they're
shows.
Separate. They're hosting separate shows.
Yeah, Mark's scores, isn't it?
Yeah,
which is like perfect.
Of course.
Done.
Why wouldn't you? And he's branching out into other like short form podcasts and other services. Like he's got an Audible original series and things like that. So
entertainment and all that good shit.
Yes.
And speaking of all the good shit, Shazam looks pretty damn great. I noticed the Twitter moment for it was fans are delighted at a Man of Steel reference in Shazam. It's like, why is that the thing you're picking out? That's not the coolest thing. But the shot they're referring to is the shot where Mark Strong's character, what's his name? I've forgotten.
He's Doctor something or other.
Doctor
Evil Bad.
Dr. Mark Strong punches Shazam.
Dr. Evil Guy.
Like, they're flying, it looks like, and he punches Shazam, and Shazam goes flying from the punch, toward a building. Not through the building, but toward a building. And people are referencing, people saying it's a reference to that shot in Man of Steel where Superman's flying, and he punches Zod, then he catches up to him and punches him again. Which was a cool shot. And yeah, it is, I guess, if it was Billy doing the punching.
Yeah.
Because Billy obviously idolises superheroes from the first trailer.
Yeah.
So, whatevs, fine.
Superman!
Comb your hair!
Oh, God.
Hitch a ride!
Shazam!
Love it.
Now. We have fun here.
Love it. I can't wait for Shazam. I'm really psyched for this movie. I want it in my life.
Have you...
What if it financially beats Aquaman?
Fucking Aquaman's been going gangbusters, hasn't it?
Aquaman is a couple more weekends of decent business away from being DC's most profitable movie.
Aquaman!
Ever.
Aquaman used to be a fucking joke.
Ever. Not DCEU.
No. Yeah,
Ever.
it's creeping up on Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah.
It's
just what the living hell.
And shall I say something controversial?
Do it.
I think it's a better movie than Dark Knight Rises. Oh!
Can I say something that might shock you?
What?
Kind of agree.
Yeah.
They're both not great movies.
But, you know...
Aquaman has fun, at least.
As muddled as it is...
Doesn't shit on what's come before it.
As muddled as it is, Aquaman has a better sense of what it wants to be than Dark Knight Rises does.
Dark Knight Rises has better performances, but it also doesn't have... The difference is they both have a terrible script, yet Aquaman still makes more of its terrible script.
I don't know if I'd call Aquaman's script terrible.
Oh, come on.
Patchy.
Oh, come on.
In need of work.
You gotta live so you can kill that son of a bitch.
I don't know, I kind of like that.
Redheads, am I right? It's a terrible script. It is a
I don't want to believe that line's in the
script.
script. I just want to believe that that's Jason Momoa being Jason Momoa. That wasn't even... He didn't even know they were rolling.
He just let him have a plane, and James Wan just luckily had his phone up at that point. Okay.
I got it, Jason.
I got it, Jason.
It's all right.
I got it, Jace.
You
win.
Someone get you up here so we can go for another take. Thanks. Can we just say what's on the page this time? Cheers.
Oh no, he's already in the desk. Oh, he's already walking up. Right, if anyone's down there, quick, turn your phone on. Just film them walking. Quick.
Yes. I think it should be clear to Warner Brothers now what people want from their movies. Which means they're going to make about 3 dozen underwater movies now. Oh.
Instead of just a few dozen really colourful, fun superheroes.
No. They're going to make him underwater. That's what people liked about Aquaman. That's why it's so good. That's why people like it so much. More superhero bits before we get into something a little less super.
You love superhero
Well, more
bits.
super, but not superhero way.
I mean, heroic, but not... Wait a minute. Oh, God.
We're going to bring it back round later.
Segways, that's what they call us.
So, Marvel Netflix.
Eat fresh. Yes.
Daredevil's gone.
Yes.
Luke Cage is gone. Iron Fist is gone.
Yeah.
Punisher Season 2 just went live.
And
along with Titans. I need to watch both of those.
We are worryingly anticipating an imminent announcement in regards to Punisher.
John Bernthal's been talking about it. Deb Brown-Wall's already hinted that, yeah, that's kind of it.
For Karen. Which would imply that she's not an ongoing supporting character in Punisher.
Yes.
Which would imply that Punisher, like Daredevil, her other show, is also...
Well, John Bernthal has been out saying that he hasn't heard anything yet, but he's kind of already at peace with that if it happens.
Oh, snap.
Because
Mike Coulter said he was never officially told prior to the announcement.
No.
There was just a sense of it on set.
Yeah. They're like things getting pushed back, like production meetings and executive producers visits and things like that just were like not happening.
The wife and I have a theory.
Yes.
And it's to do with what you told me the other week, where there is a 2-year...
Yeah, I can't remember what the source for that was, so I'm not...
Yes, the belief is there's a 2-year minimal clause for the Netflix iterations of these characters to be reused in something else.
Yeah.
Well, of course they would cancel them as soon as humanly possible.
Yeah. Well...
it seems less Netflix cancelling them, more Disney going, all right then, okay, we'll call it a day. Let's cancel the project. Let's cancel the project.
From what I'm aware, these have been cancelled on Netflix's side.
Yeah. As far as we know.
Yeah, as far as we know.
But why would Netflix cancel them when they're some of the biggest shows that they've had? Well, unless maybe the other parent in the equation went, we think we should call this a day. We need
to rearrange the custody agreement.
I just wish if that's the case, that they'd give a heads up to their stars.
Yes.
To say, hey, you've been amazing. We're not done with you. Take a breather. Well, we'll be in touch in a year and a half's time.
One of the things John Bernthal also said was that he's come to the realization that, you know, these decisions are made in rooms that he's not invited into.
Yeah.
So he kind of just has to roll with it.
It's true. At the end of the day, he's paid to show up, say the lines, be the character, and go home.
Yes. So he's kind of at peace with it. But the Daredevil showrunner has also been out there saying, yeah, we want it to leave season 2 in a place where people will be hungry for a season 3. So who knows?
Yeah. They've said who would have been the story arc focus for season 4 of Daredevil.
Yeah, that was what I was going to come on to next.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Charlie Cox has also been talking about things. And
this makes me so sad.
Yes. So it's come out that season 4 of Daredevil was originally pitched as a full-on Bullseye story.
Yeah.
With season 3 is essentially acting as his origin. And And that we get that in the last couple of scenes of season 3 of Daredevil. Did you catch up on that yet?
No, yeah, but I'm aware of this.
Yes, yeah. We see him. He gets fucked up at the end of season 3 of Daredevil, and then we see a scene of him being in surgery, with the implication that someone is paying for it so they can keep him on their payroll.
Which just makes me think of
yes.
the post-credit scene of the film.
Yes.
He's in a full body cast.
Yes. And then, so Charlie Cox has been out talking about that, and saying how that was happening, and how he's disappointed that he didn't get to see, I forget the name of the actor, but that actor fully inhabit it more.
Yeah.
Like, being very complimentary about that guy, which is,
I imagine that as the actor, though, being told, like, guess what? You're going to be one of the most beloved villains in Marvel Comics.
Oh, wait.
No, sorry, never mind.
And we never got to see Gladiator properly.
Yeah, of course.
He was in 3 seasons of that show, and we never got Gladiator. But yeah, he's also...
He threw a buzzsaw at one point.
There have been rumours that, Marvel are going to carry it on with a different cast and just do a full reboot. And Charlie Cox wasn't able to put paid to any of that. All he was able to say was, as far as I know, I'm done with it. And that's sad. And he's also mentions, like, there's an online petition and it's like 200,000 signatures.
D'Onofrio shared it, which was the first sign to me that, this is definitely done.
And he's like...
Or at least they're in the dark.
Yes. And he's thinking that, hey, it can't hurt, but I don't think it's going to change anything. Because they made their decisions, but I'll support it because...
I'd like to do more. I'd like to do more.
It's not going to hurt. So yeah, that's the state of Marvel Netflix. So Punisher season 2's been up will have been up for a week by the time you hear this. It would not surprise me if between the recording of this episode and it going live, there is a cancellation announcement.
Yeah,
because that's just the world we live in now. So they might as well just say we're not doing any more Jessica Jones either.
Yeah, and that season 3 will be the last season.
Yeah, because then at least they can go out on, they can get that out ahead, and then the lead up to season 3 of Jessica Jones releasing can be all positive stuff about how great this whole experiment was.
Yeah, and didn't you all love this show? And
yeah.
If you want to, do you know what? Disney needs to start a push for the home releases, because they get a cut of that.
Yeah.
They need to start a big push for that and be like, hey everybody, you love these shows? Well, we just put out complete box sets of each one. Go get them. Go get them now. Go buy them now. Buy sweet money.
Because you still can't get a lot of that stuff, can you? Like, you can get the first seasons of all of them, and the second season of Daredevil.
Daredevil season 2. I think Jessica Jones season 2's out as well. I'm sure I've seen that in the wild.
Which means the Defenders must also be out.
I've not seen that, but it should be. Yeah, should be. So
yeah, that stuff is starting to get out there. But
I always said, for completionist's sake, one day I'd pick them up.
Yeah,
just so I can have them there on that shelf.
Just for the day when Netflix inevitably implodes under its own weight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also because I like the idea of, not burning up my entire internet all the time.
Yeah, there's also that. Although we don't really have capped internet over here. That's not so much a thing as it is in the States.
Yeah, but I mean, just more the slow thing, because two of us being in the house, you know what it's like when you guys are playing like games and stuff. Yes. Sometimes the connection can go a bit skew-whiffy.
Skew-whiff?
Yeah, I did it the other day. I was uploading something. It was just taking ages, so I turned the internet off on everything other than my computer, and stuck a DVD on. And within 20 minutes, the thing that was going to take an hour and a half took 20 minutes. It was like, great.
That is wild.
That's pretty wild, son.
That's wild. Decidedly less wild, however.
Oh?
Is the recently released Stan Laurel and Oliver Hardy biopic, Stan and Ollie, which we've mentioned before.
Aye.
And you managed to see this past week or so.
Yes, this past week.
It's pretty good, isn't it?
It's very good. It is very, very good.
What to say about Stan and Ollie? It is a biopic covering the later years of their career. After they sort of had a falling out and stopped working together, they then start working together again and start doing a tour of Britain.
Specifically in the lead up to fund a new picture.
They're trying to get a new picture funded. but they've been off the circuit for a while, to the point where it becomes a running theme in the film that people are surprised that they're still working.
Yeah.
Because they're getting on, you know.
It's really nice that you two are still out there doing the old material, and it's, you know, it's that
the same old material.
No way am I making a comparison, but it's a very similar vibe to stuff I hear a lot sometimes. People are like, oh my god, yeah, you're really funny with that sort of stuff. You doing any more? It's like, no, no one's making it. No one's making it. No one wants us to do it.
Yeah,
so.
I don't have a job anymore.
But we'd like to do it. We'd like to see it. I know you would, but unfortunately, your actual opinion does not change the opinions of the people in charge of it.
Your opinion does not, in fact, matter.
Yeah, to the people who greenlight out. And it's a shame because it was true. Like, they were at the time trying to get funding for this film, and it was doing all right. But then, last minute, the London producer involved just sort of showed a bigger chunk of disinterest.
You say at the last minute, it seemed like that was a thing that was kind of going on for the whole...
but like, in terms of them getting that confirmation, it was toward the end of the run, after it had started to start, because it was a little tour. And this really happened. This was a real thing that occurred.
Yes.
It was a tour of UK and Ireland venues that started out in small theatres, but as the momentum began to build, mostly due to them giving up all their free time on the tour to publicise it.
Yep.
And again, like, people waking up and going, oh my god, it's you two! Oh my god, I love those movies! Like, we still go and see them. They do, like, Saturday morning reruns of pictures and Laurel and Hardy stuff's on regularly. To which Stan sort of regretfully points out during this that they don't see any money for that.
We don't get paid for that.
So, but, like, people were delighted to see him, to the point where the tour expanded and the London venue had to be changed to a 2,000-seater. It was the Palladium, wasn't it?
Yes.
Because they basically were selling out shows and people really wanted to come and see them. But it's a hopeful story in that sense, but it's also... The reason the film's called Stan and Ollie and not Laurel and Hardy is because it's about the men behind the characters and where they stand and how they feel about each other and sort of what it means to be those characters for people.
And it all sort of comes to a head when Ollie's poor habits eventually lead to a heart attack at a public appearance, which threatens the future of their partnership. Steve Coogan and John C. Reilly. Stan Laurel and Oliver Hardy in this. Very fucking good.
They're excellent.
They're so good in this.
So good. And again, it's down to that they're not doing impersonations, but the physicality's there, the idiosyncrasies, the voice. I mean, Stan Laurel is a very difficult voice to get because it's a broad English accent with 20 plus years worth of American stirred into it.
You can't quite tell where he's from.
And Coogan nails it. I mean, there's obviously a very Coogan-esque tone to it. He's got a very distinctive, like, his Mancunian tone never left him, and it's always there at the back of his throat.
It doesn't matter what he does; he's always going to be slightly nasal. It's just his voice.
It works. John C. Reilly's fucking phenomenal, considering he's also acting through 4 hours worth of prosthetics.
That's a lot, because John C. Reilly is not a big man.
No.
Like
he's a round-faced gentleman.
Yeah, he's not like super in shape. He's got a little bit of a spare tire, but he ain't Oliver Hardy.
And the thing is, when you see them in the opening of the movie, which is a scene set during the making of Way Out West, the two of them look how we all picture them.
Yes,
because it's how they look in the films, and it's scary uncanny.
Yeah,
like it's scary uncanny at that point. So it's kind of nice. I think it helps the transition of us watching actors playing these very iconic people. That we're seeing them mostly for the film during a period where people maybe wouldn't know what they've looked like during that time.
Yes.
Because they do look different. Stan looks a little gaunter and definitely older, and Ollie looks much bigger. And
when you eventually see...
more sallow-faced.
When you eventually see during the credits the real-life images from
the publicity tour and everything,
you're like, Jesus Christ, they actually... toned down how ragged they both looked at that point.
They both looked very tired. Full of energy, but looked very tired.
Man.
Yeah. It's wonderful. And what's really nice is there's callbacks to routines from the films. We get to see recreations. The revolving door sequence in particular is brilliant. It's so good, and to use Way Out West as a bookend for the way they tell the story in the film is really nice. Like a very famous sequence from that film, which you'll have seen guaranteed. The clip of it's been doing the rounds online lately because people have been doing those like side by side things.
Yes.
That gets a call back at the end of the movie, which is just so well handled. Everyone else in the supporting cast is wonderful. Rufus Jones especially.
Oh yes,
is excellent as the tour manager. And again, like I guarantee. We have both met people like that.
Yes.
Within the industry of theatre. It's like, fuck. It's depressingly true.
Yes.
Let's talk about the second double act of the movie. Because once the wives arrive...
Oh my days!
It's like the film gets a shot in the arm
I need to look
that
up
you didn't know it needed.
So Shirley Henderson is Ollie's wife.
Yes. So the always impeccable Shirley Henderson.
Yes.
That tiny little pixie-voiced woman who you always tend to forget until she plays a role like this. Oh yeah, she's in like her 50s.
Yes.
Like, oh, I didn't realise.
She does not fucking look it.
She was Moaning Myrtle in her early 40s?
Yeah. Shirley Henderson is...
or late 30s?
Born in 1965, so she's 54.
Yeah, and...
53, 54.
But like that air of sort of... dare I say it, like impishness plays very well into this, because you have to understand that though this lady was, you know, a bit of a nag for all the right reasons to her husband, because she wanted to make sure he was healthy.
Yeah,
you have to see that cheeky spark that's there that is what stopped him, because the opening scene implies quite heavily that they've been in marriages, but these two
they get around.
I think players is the wrong word, but like they definitely don't underestimate the power of their own fame when it comes to meeting women.
Yes. Nina Arianda is Ida.
She's great.
She's so good.
And the way the two of them play off of each other is brilliant. Like I think it's a draw as to which chemistry I found more compelling. Really, like they do so well together.
Yeah,
they're fantastic in this film, and I do hope they don't miss out on like all the noms when this film does sort of enter its portion of the festivals and award circuits, because they all need to get recognised for this. It's fantastic. It's a nice, short, sweet, simple story about people.
Yeah.
They just happen to be people that we recognise very well.
And it's funny and heartwarming. It just made me feel nice. It was like a cinematic hug.
Big emphasis on Stan's very quick wit and the fact that he was a workaholic. Like, almost to the point where you realise that it wasn't because it was anything he was profiting from almost. It's because he just needed to do it.
Well, they say in the closing...
after
credits,
Oliver's death, Stan still wrote material.
He never performed again.
Yeah.
But he kept writing Laurel and Hardy material.
Yeah.
Which is just...
so bittersweet. Like, it's beautiful, but really kind of nice, but then also devastating at the same time. Because you get to see a scene from a film that was never made, but they were working on. You get to see a scene from it, and he imagines what it looks like, which I thought was a nice touch, because in that scene, they looked how they did.
Yeah,
they
look in the Way Out West type.
And that was so well done, and just especially because it's this one scene that they keep touching on throughout the movie. There's a particular gag involving a pratfall that like they keep talking about, and you get to see it. And oh god, John C. Reilly in that moment, in the way he plays the camera, it's like that's straight out of the fucking films. That's so weird to see.
It's
every time he did the. I was just like, oh my god, like, that's Oliver Hardy. Like, I'm looking at Oliver Hardy. It's so good. It's so well done, and it's that sensibility and of that era is recreated so well. And of course, then the 20-year later, well, the 16-year later's nostalgia for that era is done so well. My biggest takeaway from this is my biggest takeaway from Bohemian Rhapsody being out there and being successful in terms of the popular culture, which is, I don't care if people like this film or not. I don't care if it's a good film or not. Luckily, in this case, it's a very good film.
Yes.
I just want people to now see this and go, oh, I wonder, and start revisiting the old stuff.
Yes.
The way that Queen music has taken a boom because of Bohemian Rhapsody, I want people to start searching up Laurel and Hardy. People who maybe hadn't done it before or hadn't done it in years. Buy those DVD box sets. Search it up online. Start sharing clips on Twitter. Please do it, because there is something so wonderfully... wholesome's an overdone word when it comes to describing like older comedy, but there's definitely a wholesome quality to it.
But also because they were in a lot of silent films and early talkies.
Yeah.
There's such a physical aspect to
they
their
brought
work.
that to the talkies.
Yeah.
Like, they never lost that.
That it's kind of timeless.
Yeah.
Because it's not reliant necessarily on word gags.
Yeah.
And the stuff that is... It's the bit they keep showing from the stage show is the boiled eggs and nuts skit in the hospital bed. It's just it doesn't matter what's in the bag. What matters is the way Stan makes such a deal of eating the egg.
Of it, yeah.
And you see him do it a different couple of ways, but it's like he brings the fucking salt shaker out of his pocket. It's just wonderful. And that kind of stuff, it's why Morecambe and Wise has aged so well. Because so much of it is that. Why
the Christmas specials or documentaries about the Christmas specials air every fucking Christmas on either Channel 5 or BBC 2.
Yeah.
Because, like, that stuff holds up so well.
And like the other
sensibilities.
People...
It's why people from, like, the silent era, like Buster Keaton and stuff, hold up, because they use the visual medium as their focus and their storytelling device.
Yes.
And Stan and Ollie do that. And then when the talkies happen, they brought that with them. They didn't forget that. They didn't focus on the verbal gags. They married the two.
Also, think about like the other characters you see in this, like the other comedians.
Yes, yeah.
Contemporaries. Who the fuck remembers Nobby Clark?
Yeah. I mean, no offence to Nobby Clark or the estate of Nobby Clark. But
who the fuck remembers him?
That's the point they're making. Yeah. Like, when he... And it's... I don't know if it was him, but it's true. They did bring in another comedian.
Yes.
To work with him to fill in for Ollie.
And of course, the guy that Hardy did the movie with after Laurel got dumped by the studio.
Yeah.
Who the fuck was that?
Yeah.
Like, no one knows who those people are anymore. It's Laurel and Hardy they remember because their material and their delivery was so special.
Yeah.
And you can't just... It's why there's so few comedy double act. There aren't really... That thing isn't there anymore because you're always switching and changing and chopping and changing and putting different people together. The closest thing you've got to it, I guess, is Nick Frost and Simon Pegg.
In terms of, like, worldwide
renown. But they don't really... They're
not a double act.
No,
they just work very well together.
They work very well together, but
they work together a few times.
But they do a particular kind of genre comedy, which is very reliant on text stuff. You guess you could say that John C. Reilly and Will Ferrell had it.
I don't know if either of them would draw attention to it anymore. But isn't that a weird thought? Those two movies, Stan and Ollie, and
Holmes and Watson.
Oh, that's weird. I've just realised as well. They're both, like, the focused name and something. Oh, that's so weird. They were both shot in the same year. In fact, they were both shot, I think, around the same time. Like, Stan and Ollie was being shot, and then John C. Reilly would work on Holmes and Watson for a bit, and then work on Stan and Ollie for a bit longer. And it's like, and both shot in England. Like, what a weird thought.
I think both men are quite happy to forget Holmes and Watson ever happened.
I mean, even Netflix tried to forget it by going, yeah, we don't want to buy this.
And Netflix will buy anything.
Will buy any old shit. Any old shit. Any old shit.
We never talked about Bird Box, did we?
I've still not seen it. Lucy described it to me and I was like, oh, okay.
We might come back to that one at some point. It's interesting.
Lucy loved it. Barney, who I worked with over Christmas, hated it.
I don't know.
You find it interesting, which says to me you think it's not great, but there's some really interesting stuff in there. And some of the shit stuff is really amusing. You're smiling in a way that says yes.
Your mind's telling me no.
But my bird box telling me yes.
And speaking of my mind telling me no, let's talk about M. Night Shyamalan's latest magnum opus.
Spoilers abound, ladies and gentlemen.
I am going to spoil the shit out of Split. But before I do, quick brief.
And are you going to tear open the ass out of glass?
Shattered glass. shall we say? As those who follow me on Twitter know, my on coming out of the movie, my reaction was, Glass is the most M. Night Shyamalan-ass movie M. Night Shyamalan has ever made. Take that how you will.
Put it on the poster. Let people take it however they want.
Yeah, that's because that's subjective, depending on your approach to M. Night Shyamalan. So, before I go into spoilers, Glass is the sequel to Split, which was the stealth sequel to Unbreakable. It's about three people who believe or are believed to have superpowers, abilities beyond those of normal people. The titular Mr. Glass, Samuel L. Jackson, is a evil
First name,
genius.
Mr.
Oh, God.
Last name, Glass.
We'll get there. Well, fucking hell, will we get there?
Mr. Glass has a supreme intellect.
Yes, he's the evil
like
genius type.
He's sort of like an extreme strategist and manipulator and...
Kevin Wendell Crumb, or the Horde, and the personalities that reside within him.
The Horde is a great name for a thingy supervillain.
And the Horde are these different personalities that reside within Kevin. He has dissociative identity disorder.
If I remember from Split, he's 23 different personalities who eventually push to the arrival of a 24th known as the Beast.
Who is
him, but super strong.
Yeah, he's super strong, super resilient. He's rage-filled. He can scale sheer walls, all that kind of weird stuff. He's very bestial, but like a bestial messiah. I don't know. It's and of course there's David Dunn from Unbreakable. As Mr. Glass, Elijah Price was from Unbreakable. He is a security guard, former high school football player who's can't be broken, can't be beaten. He's the lone survivor. He's unbreakable. He's the miraculous sole survivor of a train crash that killed 131 people, which we later find out Elijah Price set up. And he's been setting up all these kinds of mass disasters to try and find someone like David. And David finds his hero's calling, but also discovers that Elijah Price masterminded the whole thing. But that's Unbreakable. And then he pops up at the very end of Split, and you go, "Oh, it's a sequel, but not quite." And then they make Glass.
If I remember correctly, at the end of Unbreakable, there's not like a distinct he's going off to be a superhero thing, but it's sort of suggested.
It's suggested, and because the last thing that happens in Unbreakable, because I rewatched Unbreakable, and I watched Split for the first time in preparation for Glass. Split is fine. I have problems with it, but it's fine.
We've spoken about Split before, and how you really didn't.
There's some good stuff in there
to see it per se, but you knew this film might tip you to.
So I'm gonna
dip in.
And some of the problems that are present in Split with regards to how they treat dissociative identity disorder and sort of. That is what gives him superpowers, and he has superpowers because he's mentally ill. Is that some of that stuff's still in there, and it's still problematic, but it's not as egregious as I feared it was. But there's no two ways about it. That shit is problematic.
Like it's a weird one because like had they emphasized the supernatural element more in Split, it would feel less gross because it'd be more like, okay, this guy who's already dealing with this one thing, like this is the way he is. Also, like, there's a supernatural thing in habit. Like, if there's an outside force that created that.
But wait.
Oh, does this film get into that?
We'll get there.
Oh, shit! Okay.
So Glass basically has these three characters brought together by a psychiatrist who wants to convince them that they're all mentally ill. They're not superheroes. They just think they are. Sarah Paulson. The wonderful Sarah Paulson. Love Sarah Paulson and stuff. And she has 3 days to convince them that they're not the superhumans they think they are before something sort of nebulous and poorly defined is going to happen. Mm-hmm. And, of course, Mr. Glass is like, nope, I don't want no part of that. And he has to team up with the Beast. And David then has to stop him. That's the plot of Glass. Glass is not very good. It is frustrating and poorly executed in almost every conceivable way. It is very latter-day Shyamalan in that it builds tension, builds conflict, builds tension, builds conflict, pays fuck all off. And what it does pay off, it doesn't pay off satisfyingly. So that's Glass. Go see it. Because it's a trip. Oh, is it a trip? If you have a Limitless card, go see it. Or like a Cineworld whatever card. Don't pay for it. Because it's bad. Although it didn't cost any money. So they're going to make a profit off it no matter what.
Yeah, it's like Split was sort of like $5 million.
Split was $9 million.
$9 million. Is that with marketing atop? Or?
I don't think so. And this was $20 million, I think.
Okay, and guarantee the majority of that will be Sam Jackson and Bruce Willis's fees.
Yes.
Bruce, who I believe only showed up to film for like 6 days, Willis.
That does not surprise me. Again, we'll get to that.
How many shots that are clearly not him are there in this movie? How much do they take advantage of that raincoat?
Let's spoil Split. Let's spoil it. Alright, so.
Fucking hell.
This is a cheap fucking movie.
Right, okay.
You know the trailers
tricking you into thinking it's more expensive because of its stars, essentially.
Kind of.
Yeah.
So, correct me if I'm wrong, but from the trailers, you probably got the idea that the institutionalizing thing sort of happens towards the beginning, and then as the film climaxes, they break out and the action spreads.
The trailers do make it look like it's set in the asylum, has a shit ton of flashbacks, character building, and then they break out as the end of the story goes. And one of the trailers makes me think that some of the characters from the other two films show up at some point.
Well,
I know they must do because I know Anya Taylor-Joy's in the film.
Yes.
Split. I think I've seen the kid who played his son in Unbreakable.
Yes. Spencer Street Clark is back as Joseph Dunn.
Okay.
So the movie starts. It's been 3 weeks since the events of Split.
Wow. Okay.
In that time,
so Kevin's is that his name again?
He's on the run.
He's out there.
The Horde is on the run. Patricia and the Patricia personality is sort of taking control with Dennis and Hedwig.
Dennis is the
uptight germaphobe who likes to watch girls dance.
The beanie wearing creepy guy. Oh no, the glasses wearing creepy guy.
Hedwig is the kid.
Hedwig is the 9-year-old.
Yeah.
And the result of probably the best scene in Split.
You mean the dancing scene?
Yes, I mean the dancing.
Yes. McAvoy's brilliant in this.
McAvoy's fucking phenomenal.
He has to gurn and do voices and speak different languages and look
convincing
weird.
As he does it. Yeah,
he's great. It's
and will criminally be the most underpaid of the 3 leads, guaranteed.
Easily done the most work, and in this he's actually physically bulked up. Whereas in Split, a lot of the B stuff was done with body doubles.
Yeah,
and special effects.
Like he put some on, didn't he? But he wasn't like.
But for this, he is significantly bulkier.
Yeah,
because when he's just like being Patricia or something, he's noticeably like. You do not look as feminine as you did in the other one when you're being Patricia. Let's put it that way. Because you are a triangle now.
So is this the scenes you can see in the trailer where there's like 3 cheerleaders like chained up to something?
Yes, that's the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
So he's got those cheerleaders.
Okay, that's cool.
It's 3 weeks later.
Expanding on Split, saying that he's been going away and I'm assuming planning to eat them.
Yes.
Which was, again, one of the coolest visual bits in Split.
Oh, that was grim.
So what he was doing to the girl in the supply cupboard. Yeah.
But the early scene is like Hedwig talking to taunting the girl, like talking to the girls and be like, "I had a girlfriend once. We kissed. It was no big deal."
Oh God, yeah.
Yes.
Oh.
What you later find out when Casey from Split,
yes,
Anya Taylor-Joy, comes back to the story that during those 3 weeks she has had her abusive uncle arrested, and gone into a foster home, and started like wearing more flamboyant outfits and being way more relaxed and stuff in public. It's been 3 weeks.
She's got rid of the demon that was haunting her, essentially,
seemingly overnight.
Okay.
It's been 3 weeks.
Okay. So it doesn't track.
And it gets worse.
Oh.
We also find out...
Oh, okay.
Also at the beginning of the movie, we find out that David Dunn, from Unbreakable, has now gone into business with his son. They run Dunn Home Security. It's like a home security outfit.
Okay.
Sell supplies and set up...
Mild-mannered home security outfit by day.
But it's a front...
Yeah, there you go.
For his vigilante activities with his son as the guy in the chair.
I don't hate that.
Neither do I.
I don't hate that at all.
It's pretty good. Like your introduction to him in the film is he goes after this pair of like dumb YouTubers who assault someone on the street, and then like they trace that back to the home, and then he comes into the home and
beats the shit out.
But you don't see any of it.
Oh.
Because this movie's really cheap.
Oh.
It's like someone's living room, and then you see a shot of him, like a guy goes off screen. You hear a ruckus. You see a guy get thrown across the wall. A silhouette of David Dunn. We find out he's literally been dubbed by the press as the overseer.
Okay.
After they've tried to brand him as the Green Guardian and the Tiptoe Man.
Because he just shows up.
He doesn't like the Tiptoe Man. He doesn't like that moniker.
That's a nice little stab at movie trends of superhero names. Like a lot of movies shy away from naming the superheroes outside of like a headline.
But but yeah, you see, so he throws his one guy against the wall, and then you just see him advancing on the other kid, and that's it. Cut to him going back to his son and being like, "Well, you know, we put them in jail. What's next?" But he's actively looking for Kevin.
Oh, because he's in Philadelphia. Since he saw the news report at the end of
he's in Philadelphia. He's looking for this guy.
Okay.
Him and his son are trying to track this guy down. He finds him. They have a confrontation. He rescues the cheerleaders. They're fighting. It's the Beast versus David Dunn. It's not very interesting.
Oh.
Like, they throw each other around a bit, and then the Beast tries his bear hug move that he killed his therapist with in Split.
Yeah.
On David Dunn, and obviously it's a no-sell because he's unbreakable, and they very slowly walks over to a window while and then just throw each other out of it.
Okay. Oh, so David Dunn's spending that whole bit going, well, this is mildly irritating.
Yeah,
I'm just going to stroll over to this window and throw us both out.
And Bruce Willis is probably spending most of that bit going, oh, this is mildly irritating. I can't wait until I can go up my trailer.
I guarantee you the reason why that fight scene is so sort of short and simplified is because of his availability.
Also because...
And by availability, I mean time he gave them to be on set.
Yes. Also because M. Night Shyamalan doesn't know how to shoot action.
So maybe it was worth getting on a second unit director.
But we'll get back to that.
Oh, shit.
This is like the first 20 minutes of the film.
Jesus Christ.
If that. If that.
Oh, this should be the prologue. This should be like 5 minutes, then into something more solid.
So, then they get, as they fall out the window, they get up, they start to go, they're about to go at it again, and police turn up. And there's a bunch, like, there's this big light array, because it's night now.
Yeah.
This light array, and that triggers a personality change in Kevin. So every time these lights flash, it triggers a personality change. So it keeps the Beast at bay. It keeps him off his guard.
And these people already knew this, or was this like the first moment it's obvious?
No, yes. No, this they have been brought along for this express purpose because this is Ellie something. Ellie Staples, played by Sarah Paulson. She's the therapist. She's come with the police to arrest them both, and take them to Ravenhill, which is also where Mr. Glass, Elijah Price, is being held.
Is this our first appearance of Mr. Glass in the film?
You don't actually see him until a good half hour, 45 minutes or something into the movie.
Jesus, the movie's named after him.
He doesn't
what a weird
say anything for longer than that.
Oh, God.
Because when you first see him, he's doped to the fucking gills.
Oh,
the idea being they've been keeping him in heavy sedation because he keeps escaping.
The brittle guy in the wheelchair keeps escaping.
Because he's super smart.
Because of, the stuff he'd make people do. And oh God. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. I'm not hating. This is very overtly reminiscent of Spider-Man and Batman things. Like,
We'll
Raven
get
Hill
there.
is Ravencroft, like Arkham Asylum.
Cue the next hour and a bit
Jesus.
is Sarah Paulson trying to convince the characters that they don't have supernatural abilities, while also consulting with David Dunn's son, Elijah Price's mother, and Casey.
Oh, now Elijah Price's mum is played by the same actress who played Glass's mum in the flashbacks in Unbreakable. Because the internet went wild on this week, because that actress... It's a great decision casting-wise, because it means if you watch the two films back-to-back, it's definitely the same performer.
But Jesus Christ,
but of
that
course,
old age
in real life,
yeah.
she is 5 years younger than Sam Jackson?
Yeah. And she is in some terrible old age makeup. Some really bad old age makeup.
Oh, God.
To make it worse, there are a lot of flashback scenes in this movie to Unbreakable, or events that are referenced in Unbreakable. I believe at least two, at least three, if not four of those scenes.
Don't you say reused footage.
Are actual deleted scenes
Oh!
from Unbreakable that you will have seen if you own the DVD.
Okay. I don't hate that, but it's cheap as fuck.
Cheap.
Yeah.
It is cheap.
Yeah, like...
Because...
You know any future re-release of Unbreakable will omit those scenes from the extras now.
One of them is quite clever, because it's... As Ellie starts to get into David's head, he says to Joseph, like, anyone could lift... He flashes back to the original Unbreakable from a deleted scene where he comes after the weightlifting scene in the basement, where he benches all that, and he says to his son, like, "That's not that. It's impressive, but it's not that special. Like, there are people in any gym who can lift that much.
Yeah,
like, it doesn't make me superhuman." And then he starts. I think Joseph is starting to doubt, but he isn't. Anya Taylor-Joy, Casey, she. Okay. She meets Kevin while he's institutionalized, and he starts to beast out, and she touches him and, like, soothes him and brings Kevin out and calms him down.
Because they, of course, kind of had that connection at the end of Split, where basically he saw her scars.
At which point...
And you realise the Beast, like, was in pain to a point and recognised
He thinks that those who haven't experienced suffering are unbroken and should be cleansed.
Right.
That's his philosophy.
So he's mutant Jigsaw.
Kind of.
It's not appreciation for life, it's appreciation for how much this fucking hurts.
Yes. So... Oh, man. So, and then Dubstep was like, "Look, I need you to come work in there. Like, pure physical love. Like, the touch of pure physical love can keep him under control."
Oh,
and which
God.
are like, she's what, 15, 16 in this movie? The character.
Which is why it would make
Not the actress.
Which is why it would make 10 times more sense for them to skip forward a few years instead of 3 weeks.
But also the fact that she's willing in that initial encounter to get that close to him.
Yeah.
And it comes back into play later on. She refuses to help Ellie, but then she comes back later on. Anyway, so the movie dances around all this stuff, and it's her trying to convince these guys that they're not superhuman, even though they are demonstrably superhuman from the stuff that we've seen in Split, from the stuff that we've seen in Unbreakable. The movie even says, like, when you finally get Mr. Glass, Elijah coming to Kevin / the Horde and saying, "Yo, I want to be the Beast," Patricia's starting to doubt.
Yeah.
She's like, "What if he's not exceptional?"
I mean, that's an interesting idea with him, with that character.
Yeah.
Because you can have the different personalities react to it differently and be at war with themselves about that. But, like you said, 2 films exist that show us they can do shit. Now, to be fair, in
2
Split...
films and the beginning of this one.
In Split, there's no shot, to my memory, that suggests that the Beast is demonstrably superhuman. It's more horrific acts and physical feats that he does.
She shoots him with the shotgun and it only takes the top layer off his skin.
Oh yeah, there's that. Okay. For some reason when I watched it, I took that as like...
And he bends the steel bars in the cage.
Okay.
Which they keep flashing back to in this. At least 3 times, I think.
Oh.
Twice or 3 times. They keep
Oh.
flashing back to that one moment of him pulling the bars open, and it's like supposed to be this moment where they had this connection.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh,
but then
God.
you get Ellie later on saying, "Oh well, we checked the shotgun and the shells were ancient. They were probably compromised, and the iron bars down there, they were built in like the late 1800s. I went down there and put a wrench between them, and I could bend them." Whether that's true or not, we don't know.
Yeah,
we never find out.
I've got a feeling Sarah Paulson has an ulterior motive here. This isn't just a case of
We'll get there.
Oh shit! I was going to say because what would be the point in her just diffusing them all? Like because that means if she's diffusing them all, that means she knows they've got powers and she's trying to get control of the situation.
So eventually.
Why would you put these 3 individuals together if you wanted to rehabilitate them?
Elijah Price...
You wouldn't. Would you keep them very separate?
He stages a breakout.
Of course he does.
They try to lobotomize him without this laser lobotomy machine, but he manages to get in there and sabotage it beforehand.
Laser lobotomy machine?
Just go with it.
Just fucking stick a pen in his eye.
Yeah, he breaks out the beast, and he says to everyone, and says to David, you're going to have to break out and stop me. I'm going to go... The tallest building in the city is opening today. Tallest building in Philadelphia.
Now, okay. Now, I don't hate that for one reason. His whole shtick in Unbreakable is about how he's fucking fascinated with comic books.
Oh, yeah, because throughout this movie, he keeps telling everyone what part of the comic book this scene is.
Okay, that could be irritating.
It's incredibly irritating.
It works well in Unbreakable... But
doesn't work well here. It's so on the nose.
Is it because...
And then his mum starts fucking doing it as well.
Is it because we're part of a world now that's different from 2000 where these things are more common?
I guess.
So it's less
it's
less a subversion of the trope now.
They are very specific in this film that there's only these 3.
Yeah. Well, no, but I mean in terms of the pop culture zeitgeist, we've been eating movies like this consistently for about 15 years.
Maybe. But anyway, so he gets his breakout and he's like, hey, there's going to be... I'm going to go to this tall building. I'm going to use the chemistry lab that is on the couple of middle floors that this company has, and I'm going to blow it up. And we're going to kill loads of people, and you've got to come and stop us, and you're going to fight the beast in front of all these cameras and all the press, and they're not going to be able to deny us anymore. You're going to show everyone. I'm going to make you 2 fight and show everyone that we're real.
As far as his motivation goes, fair enough. Like, he's been a schemer all his life, and now his scheme is just, I just want to prove that I exist.
It doesn't happen.
Based on what you told me about the budget, I had a feeling. Can I make a guess?
Yeah.
They do have a big final fight.
Yes, they do.
It's that bit. It's that bit in the trailer where he's lifting up a police car. It's in like the parking lot.
Yes.
Again, subversion. I guess.
The Beast and
Bruce, can we get some time to film with you on this skyscraper set? No, can't be asked.
They throw each other about a bit in the parking lot, and he turns over a police car.
Yeah, of course.
And Mr. Glass is he gets his suit back that still fits him after he's been in this institution for 19 years, and it has a lapel pin on the tie that says MG in sparkles. I don't remember that from Unbreakable, but hey, here we go.
They give it like a big close-up shot.
It's noticeable.
Right. It's Mr. Glass, I suppose, is the...
And like every line of dialogue is like, this is it! This is the turnaround! It's the showdown! It's the limited edition twist ending! Stop saying limited edition! Comics don't market themselves as being limited editions! They're all fucking limited editions! Because they come out, they do a print run, and then they're gone! That's how comics fucking work! Stop saying limited edition!
Are you suggesting that M. Night Shyamalan doesn't know how publishing works?
He knows fuck all about comics, and this movie only proves it. He likes to think he knows about comics because he read A Hero with 1,000 Faces and some other books on narrative structure, and he thinks he has a handle on it, but he does not. But he likes to tell us that he does because he spends the entire third act of this movie doing just fucking that through the mouth of Mr. Glass. So they have this big fight in the parking lot. Yeah. And all their cells have things to keep them under control. So like Kevin's has a mini version of a light rig around the door, so if he gets too close to the door or starts to get aggressive, it triggers. And it just when it sounds just. So you know David's thing was water, right? Like he can't swim and he drowns easily.
Oh yeah, that's one way. That's one way you could kill him.
He has a swimming pool thing in the.
Yeah.
And you get a flashback to this, which again I think is a deleted scene from Unbreakable, but I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Of when he was a kid and he almost drowned. I'm not sure if that's a flash.
So it's an inbuilt fear of his.
Yeah.
And it also just happens to be like the only way that is known that you could definitely kill him. Oh, because also, unbreakable as you may be, you can still drown.
When they take...
It's the Wolverine logic.
Yes.
Yeah.
When they take Elijah to be quote-unquote lobotomized...
Yeah.
He has...
to be James Bond lobotomized.
As the
James lobotomized.
As his anaesthetic kicks in, it goes to a flashback, and it's the deleted scene from Unbreakable, where it's him as a kid on the waltzers at a carnival.
Yeah.
And like he goes in on the waltzer, and he got these two big fluffy bears, and he puts them on either side of him nice and tight, and then he wraps his big fluffy jumper around the bars so he's nice and secure and he's safe. And then as it goes faster and faster, the bears fly out, and then his jumper flies out, and then he breaks his arm and fucking goes against the side of the thing and breaks his shoulder, and it's just that. It's a lot of it's from his perspective, so it's just, and you just like going round. You see his mum screaming as he's going round, and then like that as the last shot of his mum finding him in the carriage, and he's like his arms are fucking zigzag.
Yeah.
But that's a delete scene from Unbreakable, and they just put that whole scene in here as sort of like a dream sequence, quote unquote, and like sort of to sort of signify the fact that he's holding on to this memory, so this lobotomy doesn't change him. And then you find out 2 minutes later that he wasn't being lobotomized anyway because he already sabotaged the machine. So they really just put that scene in there to fill time.
Oh, fuck's sake. and save a couple $1 million.
And save some money.
Save a couple $1 million. That's why these repurposed scenes are in there.
Yes.
Not because he's like, oh, this is my vision and I always want to bring them in. It's, we don't have enough money.
No.
But I've got these ready-made scenes that will cost us nothing to use.
Yes.
It's admirable economic filmmaking.
It won't cost nothing because they have to license it from Buena Vista.
Yeah.
Because Unbreakable, Split, and this are all different distributors and production companies.
That is odd.
Because Split was...
Oh my god, there'll never be a box set.
Split was Universal.
Unless they spend a lot of money to make it happen.
True. Split was Universal.
Oh god, yeah.
But Unbreakable was Buena Vista.
Yeah.
Which is Disney owned.
Yeah.
So they had to negotiate with Disney to get David Dunn into Split.
Right.
Which means that Glass is then a Universal Disney co-production, because that was Disney's condition for having David Dunn in the Stinger in the end
Disney's
of
condition
Split.
was, if you are doing a follow-up,
we want to be involved in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they would have had to license that footage anyway from Disney. Possibly. So it probably would have still cost them money, but a lot less than another shooting day. And cast and sets and location and all that stuff.
I mean, I've got to give it to him. That's economic filmmaking.
It's Blumhouse production.
They're not Blumhouse. Know how to do stuff on a small budget.
But it really impacts this film because it is just looks cheap. And again, the big fight in the parking lot, they just throw each other around a bit. He does that dog run from the trailer, and like does that once.
That weird, almost static shot because it's keeping level with the car window of him lifting up the car.
Because a lot of this is being framed as if it's being filmed on security cameras. Keep that in mind.
So I think I know where this is going.
So anyway,
yeah.
David's failsafe in his cell is they've got the sprinkler system set up, and there's a big gallon tank, and it's like, if you try and escape or you're trying to attack anyone, we're gonna fill the room and drown you.
No.
Again,
you don't have superpowers. And to prove you don't have superpowers, we're going to use the only thing that would kill you if you were superpowered to threaten you with.
Yep.
So tonally this doesn't work already.
Also,
like, it would be more intimidating if they didn't have these fail-safes, because then you'd be like, wow, they are really sure of the idea that you guys aren't superpowered.
Another moment where you can tell the movie's really cheap, and I thought it was weird when I watched it, and then when I thought about it like a few minutes later during the movie, I was like, fucking hell. They walk in the cell.
Yeah.
And they're talking to him. And then during the scene where it's like, he looks like he's going to kick off, then it cuts to outside, and the water tank and you just hear the sounds of a pump starting up.
Right.
Cut back into his cell. Shot of water draining from the room. A very wet Bruce Willis. In a very otherwise dry room with the other people still in it.
What?
So, because they couldn't afford to make the sprinkler system work, they just cut away from it.
So they cut away.
And then cut back.
They chuck a warm bucket of water on Bruce Willis.
Yeah.
And they go, and action.
Yeah.
What?
It's ridiculous. Anyway, the fight sort of comes to a head when there's a couple of like riot police come in and try and detain him, and like they try and close in the Beast and David and separate him. The Beast like kills all of the riot cops, just like beats them to death.
With his own shoe.
David might like just literally pushes them across the parking lot into a storage container and then bends a steel bar around the handles of it to keep him safe.
Right, okay.
Very slowly. Like, not in a like impressive way. Just in like a,
come on,
this is clearly like, you know, doesn't look superhuman at all. Then the Beast, Elijah tells the Beast, he drinks his water, and then they both end up going in. He grabs him, and then they dives into the tank that Phil is supposed to fill David's cell.
Right.
And they're fighting in there, and there's a crack in the thing, and David manages to break the side of the thing, and the water all spills out, but he's very weak. Q. Alright, this is where it goes tits up. Big time.
Cue Mark Wahlberg from The Happening.
No.
He runs in, he goes,
no.
The plants, we gotta look out for the plants.
No!
Paul Giamatti comes in, he's like, hey, that was my new swimming pool water. There was a lady in that water, you little shits. So, and then the water pours out and frightens away some aliens.
As all this shit's going down...
I'm trying to Shyamalan this.
Nope. He does it himself, and we're getting there. We're there. This is the point where he Shyamalans himself.
Is there a twist?
There's several twists in quick succession.
Fucking yes, mate.
First of all... the three sort of sidekicks have turned up. So Elijah's mum, Casey, and David's son.
Right.
They've been there this whole time. They're just like, what, like, sort of Stylans. Joseph's been doing some research, and he found out who Kevin's father was. Because Kevin's the way he is because of his abuse suffered from his mother. Like, his mother abused him.
Do they?
We find out that, yeah, we see that in Split.
Yeah.
We see a very brief flashback of her, like, coming to get him under his bed with a coat hanger. And we see another one in this of, like, her coming up the stairs with a hot iron, like, to, like, burn him and shit.
Okay.
Turns out, his father was aware that his mother was ill and was trying to get him away from her.
Right.
So... he was going to see a doctor.
Okay.
Because they mention in Split, one of his personalities mentioned that his dad left on a train and never came back. So you see,
okay,
you
yeah,
see
I'm
a
piecing this
flashback.
together.
You see a flashback to his dad, him and his mum.
Yeah.
Seeing his dad off at the train station, and his dad gets on the train,
yeah.
and then you see him sit down, and then it pans back through the aisle, and then it merges into the first scene, the scene where you meet David in Unbreakable, and he's on the train, and it's through the seat in front of him, like the back and forth. So Elijah unwittingly created the Beast.
Unwittingly created the Beast?
Yeah, because he didn't know that was going to happen.
Okay.
But it turns out that Elijah killing Kevin's father on that train meant that he could be abused by his mother and then develop DID, and then the Beast could emerge.
Right.
And the Beast is all like, we thank you. And then, like, crushes Elijah's shoulder and hits him in the abdomen.
Oh!
And, like, breaks all his ribs.
Shit!
So, like, fucking Elijah's dying.
Yeah.
And then there's another sickening bit where he tries to get up out of his chair, but he can't. Like, he gets out of his chair and then just falls to the ground.
Oh.
So he falls to his knees and his knees shatter. And it's like, it's just horrible sound design. David's still, like, trying to recover from the drowning at this point. Beast's going fucking crazy. Casey turns up.
Okay.
She's been there all the time. Gets Kevin to calm down. Brings him out. Gets the Beast to go away.
Yeah.
Brings Kevin out.
And this is Kevin who we met only very briefly in Split.
Yeah,
isn't
he's
it,
in this.
the
He's
end?
in three or four times in this.
Okay.
And he remembers Casey from the end of Split.
Right. That's the thing, isn't it? Whenever he goes away, Like, it's like he's not been there.
But she's trying to persuade him. She's trying to reason with him to come back into the light. Stay in the light, because that's what they say when that person has control. Bang! Sniper shoots him. Gut shot. Starts bleeding out. Dying in Casey's arms. Different personalities coming to the fore.
Oh?
Kevin manages to take hold of the light and keep it until the end. Kevin's dead.
Okay, that's an interesting way out for that character.
Elijah's dying on the ground. His mum goes to him. His mum's like, fucking...
Is that all she says?
Yeah. We're going to get there. Ellie comes over to him and he's like, as he's dying, she's like, you should die feeling a sense of fulfillment. You were right. And walks off. And his mum's like, what, oh, no, it wasn't a showdown. What were you doing? And he's like, no, it wasn't a showdown. It was an origin story. This is as he's dying.
It was mum's all in on this.
No.
Oh, right. Oh, she's sort of like...
This is him telling her
that
it's not a showdown, it's an origin story.
Okay.
So, I'm
trying to figure out whose origin this is going to be.
When Kevin gets shot by the sniper,
right,
it pulls back, and you see a clover tattoo, 3-leaf clover tattoo on the sniper's hand.
Okay.
Then...
Definitely Blumhouse, right?
Yeah.
Okay, thank God. Sorry, I just was like, it's not Bad Robot, is it?
No.
Fucking hell.
I had exactly the same thought. After the
God.
fact, I was like, I wonder.
The monster burst out of the floor.
One of the other SWAT officers goes over to David, grabs him, instead of picking him up, drags him over to a puddle that's been created in a like a pothole in the tarmac. Starts drowning him.
Oh,
again, clover tattoo. Ellie comes over to him. Guy's holding his head out of the water. She's like, I wanted to leave you alone. You were just a normal guy, but you just couldn't stop yourself.
This is to David.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You need to take my hand now. So he does, and you get the unbreakable. This is the bit where he sees all people's evil that they've done. Ellie Staples is a member of a secret society identified by these clover tattoos, because you see a flashback to them having a meeting in a restaurant, that have known of the existence of superpowered beings and have been keeping them hidden and under control, usually by killing them, for the last 10,000 years. And she wanted to try and convince them that they weren't superhuman, so she didn't have to kill them. But it didn't work, so now she has to kill them all.
Oh, God. Why are they doing this?
And they all die.
Is it to protect the world?
Yes. The idea being that if we let people with superpowers run around, then it's just going to become too problematic. So we can't. It's just... She actually says the phrase, we can't have gods amongst us.
Okay.
She actually says that phrase.
Right, cool. Yeah, interesting idea. Very comic booky.
But
does David then die?
Yes.
Does he drown him? Does he hold him back down in the puddle and kill him? Okay.
David, Elijah, Kevin, all dead.
Okay.
Ellie wipes all the surveillance footage.
Right.
Destroys all the backups.
Okay.
Gets out to the press. It was just an escape.
Mental patient.
Mental patient escaped. Some stuff went down. It got nasty. It's tragedy, but it ended how it had to end. But the film's still going.
This is the origin story we're about to see then. Fuck.
Ellie's like, she has another meeting with her secret society that's been around for 10,000 years, but has only just been revealed in the last 10 minutes.
Okay. Of the whole film.
Of the whole film and the 2 preceding films before it.
Fucking hell.
And she's like, yeah, we did what we had to. I tried to do it the humane way, but we had to do it the hard way. Oh well, I'm going to move on to the next city, see if anyone else is popping up there. So it ain't been that apparently she goes from city to city, just seeing it when it pops up. And
she's like one of the better qualified people to do this.
Yeah.
So.
I think she says to David, like, every time one of you appears, then your opposite turns up, then another one turns up, and we have to stop it.
Fuck, so implying that Unbreakable and Split are literally one of a bunch of movie series we're not seeing.
Yes.
Christ alive.
She's in a comic book shop, like, just flicking through stuff. Because obviously she has an interest in these kind of things.
Mm-hmm.
It's part of a professional interest. She overhears 2 guys talking, and they're like, no. That's the thing about the mastermind. He's always got a second plan, and he makes you look the other way. Turns out, there's a bit where, earlier on when Elijah's doing the breakout, where he goes through the tunnels underneath the hospital, the long way round, and gets seen, letting them raise the alarm and catch him in the parking lot.
Yeah.
Instead of just going out the side exit.
Right.
And you see him also for a minute, you see him rock up at a computer and start typing stuff. Turns out that he got all the surveillance footage. He basically kept escaping to make them install more security cameras, make it more secure, all that stuff.
That's a good idea. That's a good idea.
And he's secretly uploaded all this footage of the fight and all those things to a private server.
Right.
And it's out there. Cut to Mrs. Price, or Miss Price, I don't know whether she's married or not. Elijah's mum in her home, all weepy because the son's dead. Of course, she's fucking weepy.
Yeah.
Ding, you've got mail. He doesn't say that, but it's nice. Because of course it's not quite that out of touch. And it's like a voice message from Elijah saying, yeah, this was the real plan. And it's all the footage.
Right.
From the fight of, like, the Horde flipping the car and David bending steel and breaking out of his, like,
somehow well edited, even though it was just...
Well, no, because you keep seeing those shots.
Right, okay,
like, throughout that whole sequence, it keeps cutting... Throughout the whole film, actually, once you're in the facility... Ravenhill. It keeps, like, cutting to security camera feeds.
Right.
Throughout scenes.
Okay.
And then it cuts back to all those shots when it's looking through this footage.
Right.
So, and then you see Joseph get the message, and you see Casey get the message.
Okay.
And then this is how the film ends. This is how the film ends. Are you ready?
No.
Casey, Joseph, and Miss Price are meeting up in Penn Station. And they're sitting on a bench in Penn Station with coffee. It's like, how long ago did you upload it? 2 hours. Okay. And then all of a sudden people start getting notifications on their phone. And then there's like hubbub and like, he looks over his shoulder, and then Joseph sees someone watching a video of his dad bend that steel round the container doors to keep the people in. It's like, oh, it's going viral, and then all of a sudden, like, as you're panning out, it's the news footage change, like the news the news program changing from, like, whatever it was to, oh, this amazing footage of real life superheroes. That's the movie. It ends there. That's where it ends.
What?
That's where it ends. That's where the movie ends. This footage that is supposed to be undeniable proof of real superhumans is the kind of thing you would see on, like, a YouTube special effects channel.
Yeah.
Like, it's
So what's probably going to happen in the real world
is as soon as this will come out, you would look at it
and go viral. I'm going to go, oh, that's kind of cool.
You go, oh, that's kind of cool, or you go, oh, fake. Or,
and then a day later, the Trump administration do something, and the Twitter feed gets filled with that instead.
That's what would happen. Because none of this footage is like
it's anti-fucking climactic concept.
It's not people flying, or it's a ripped dude lifting a cop car the easy way.
Yeah,
like he's not lifting it lengthways.
He's not like grabbing.
He's
the
grabbing.
Roof
He's
and
like
pulling
he's
it
grabbing
up off the
under
ground.
the driver's side door.
Yeah,
very slowly lifting it up with visible strain and pushing it over. It's David again, very slowly bending this steel bar around.
So had those scenes been directed to be a bit more superhero movie,
but it's because it's so slow and deliberate and boring, fucking boring. It just has no impact, and you cannot seriously expect me to believe that anybody in 2019 would watch one of these videos on YouTube and go, yep, that's completely genuine, that's not a special effect at all. Are we living in a universe where there isn't anything comparable to the Marvel movies or fucking Superman from 1979? 77,
What would have been a bigger twist would have been
had 79?
Elijah already set up connections or a conversation with another individual elsewhere that was gifted.
But no,
so that after that footage comes out, that person then emerges and goes public. Because at least then it's that whole, yes, he died, but now these people are starting to come forward.
Well,
that would be a twist ending in
the
everything
premise
that organisation's trying to stop.
That's the premise of the ending.
It's too late.
That's the premise of the ending.
But the way it's executed
is
YouTube video on the news.
Fucking stupid. And it's just so dull. It takes so long to get there, and then it's like the last 15 minutes is just twist, 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 misdirection. But really we were doing this, and the carrot and fucking Elijah before he dies telling you, well, they thought it was going to be this, but actually it's this, and this is the bit where you say this, and this is the bit where I say this, because I'm the bad guy and you're the good guy, and you're the hero, so you've got to go and save these people.
I mean, even just end on a shot of a kid or an adult or whatever watching that footage, watch it on the news, and them going them looking down and looking at the electricity sparking from their hands.
The final shot of The Last Jedi.
Yeah. To have something like that where you see someone going
the final shot of The Last Jedi.
I'm not alone, because at least then it's like it is an origin story.
Yeah.
It's that massive visual indication that everything that organization tried to prevent is about to be undone. Oh my god!
It's like I say, it's the most M. Night Shyamalan movie.
Like, it's a series of twists, and some of them are interesting, but the execution is so boring.
It's so poor.
Oh my god!
It's so poor.
Everything you've described to me, I'm like, do you know what? Dumb.
And I found myself sitting there going,
sounds like a fun, interesting time from an analytical movie kind of standpoint.
I just kind of hate the concept because he did nothing interesting with it. Like, killed off his 3 principal characters at the end with 20 minutes to go. So you could have all this wrap up and then, but they leaked the footage, so now there's going to be superheroes, I guess, maybe?
I guarantee you that one of the actors was intended to stick around and not die. And during production or when signing on, they went, this will be... Like, McAvoy clearly would have been like, it's been a lot of fun to revisit this, but it's pretty knackering. Yeah. 2's fine for me. Willis is just like, I'll do it if you pay me like $5 million and I only work 5 days. In fact, that's probably how many days he had, because there was something he worked on ages ago where he wanted $1 million. It was Expendables 3, wasn't it? He wanted $1 million. He wanted $1 million.
Yeah.
I think he wanted $5 million for 1 day.
Yeah.
And Stallone said, fuck off. They offered him, at a push, I think they offered him $1 million. I think they said they'd give him $1 million for 5 days. And he went, no. And Stallone went, right, well, you're not in the film.
Yeah. He's becoming notoriously more and more and more difficult to work with. Which just boggles the fucking mind.
And guaranteed, he'll have said yes to this because it will have been a big payout, a small work schedule for him, and Shyamalan will have gone, right, I'm going to write in as much as I can.
Yeah,
because where Bruce's face doesn't have to be on screen.
Apparently he signed on without even reading the script.
Yeah, so it's money.
So
His money.
you know, but hey, there's lots of stuff where they didn't have to show his face because there's an awful lot. He keeps wearing that fucking rain poncho.
Yeah.
The whole fucking if he can wear that rain poncho, he is wearing that fucking rain poncho.
And also by making Glass your title character, I imagine once he's in it, the focus does shift more to him.
Except he takes fucking ages for him to do anything or say anything.
Give the guy a break. He's drugged up.
Oh, you find out later he's been faking it pretty much the whole time.
Oh, for Christ. How is he faking taking drugs? Has he convinced the orderlies to, not administer him? Or is he,
He must be self-administering because he's got, he lifts up the arm of his wheelchair and it's he's got all the pills in there.
Right.
So he's been palming them and replacing them with aspirin from a bottle of aspirin he stole.
Okay.
But how? How are these things being administered to him?
And surely when people are pushing him around the facility or whatever, they're going to go, that's a lot of rattling coming from your wheelchair arm.
You know?
Oh, look, all the pills.
You know? And,
are there any really good, aside from McAvoy, which is a given, are there any really good performances in it?
Annie Taylor-Joy is a joy to watch, even if her character arc is really weird. It's almost Stockholm Syndrome-esque in the fact that she suddenly has this almost intimate connection with someone who tried to kill her.
Fair enough if they really play up the idea of she felt trapped in the way she was prior to Split, and obviously in Split she was genuinely trapped.
And she was
she's now I have a way to help someone who is also trapped get out.
And you do get the sense...
If they really played that up and it wasn't a physical thing so much as I want to help Kevin. They really make that
Yeah, you do get the sense that she has sympathy for Kevin and the more
docile
benign personalities.
like
even Hedwig. Hedwig and Barry and all that. But in this you also find out that over the course of the last 3 weeks, out of the 23 personalities, 3 were already the Horde. Hedwig, Dennis and Patricia.
Yeah, because they were the ones communicating in the first one.
You find out that another 10 of those personalities have been brought over to their side.
So the Horde is kind of like a cult within him that worships the Beast. Yeah.
Because they Ellie calls Patricia the High Priestess of the Beast. So they go with the cult imagery.
Okay.
Sarah Paulson's fantastic. Sarah Paulson.
She's Sarah Paulson.
Treat Spencer Clark coming back as Joseph Dunn is great.
Yeah.
The actors are all great in it. The actors are not the problem. Well, Bruce Willis is Bruce Willis. What you can do. But you can tell they didn't have him for long because all of this, the entire middle hour of that film where it's all in the fucking institute and she's trying to convince them that they're not superhuman, could have been solved by just sitting down and having a reasonable conversation with David.
Yeah.
Which they never really do.
I mean, right down to her at the end being you were a normal guy, you could have stepped in. All she had to do is be look, you guys are superpowered, there's an organisation, they're going to kill you because you're superpowered. Do me a favour. Do me a favour. Just don't be doing your vigilante shit.
Yeah.
Or if you're going to do your vigilante shit, don't make it obvious that you're super strength.
Yeah.
You're super strength. Cool.
Even though he's not
Thanks,
really super, he doesn't really do anything truly spectacularly superhuman. He just throws some people around and he's strong. It doesn't.
What he's saying is, this is a YouTube comic book fan film.
Think of the.
Look at how strong Bane is. He just lifted up that bin.
Think of the cover of Action Comics 1.
Okay, so Superman holding up a fucking
car
above
his head.
Yeah.
They fucking name check that issue in this film because Casey goes to a comic book shop and asks the cashier what the first comic book was.
Yeah.
Instead of just fucking Googling it. Just so you can have this guy behind the counter going, well, in 1922 there were the first collections of newspaper strips reprinted, but then in 1939 everything changed when the main man arrived in Action Comics number. It's fuck off. You could have just Googled this.
Is it even a cool cameo playing the cashier, or
no?
Really, really checking your comic book bona fides there.
I think the comic store that Ellie's in at the end is supposed to be the same one from Unbreakable. It looks similar,
those neon lights, and stuff.
neon light, and sort of dishevelled and just rack tables of long boxes and 90s Jim Lee X-Men posters on the wall and shit.
So they're like, we want to make sure people know it's the original by making it look like we're still in the late 90s.
Yes.
Like, yeah, even though the shop would definitely have changed or gone out of business by then.
Yeah, too right.
It would have been more real if she'd showed up and be like, oh, it's a deli now.
So not only do they never
Oh,
really...
it's a Starbucks.
The closest they... Oh, God. The closest they get is the group therapy session that you see in the trailer.
Yeah.
Which isn't actually that long, but she does sort of have a back and forth with him. And be like, well, you know, you don't do anything that's overtly superhuman, and you do drown easily. Like, you don't do well with water. And what about your ability to detect evil deeds? Like, that's just intuition. That's just cold reading.
Yeah, she got instinct, mate.
Yeah. And he pushes back on that. He's like,
picks up a Rorschach test of just a dude with a twirly mustache and a cloak.
Yeah.
It's like, is this evil? He's evil. No, he's a magician.
He's pushing back on that. He's like, no, that chain of reasoning that you're explaining as like what a mentalist does. That's not how it is. That's not how it appears to me.
Aye.
But that's the closest they get to having that, because when they probably think this is really clever, but when they first bring David and Kevin into the institution, it keeps cutting back to it does this reverse shot thing of Kevin, Ellie explaining something, David, Ellie explaining something, Kevin, Ellie explaining something, David. So every time she finishes a sentence, it cuts back and it's a different one. She's talking to the other one.
Okay.
And it's just like, yeah,
a very good script could make that interesting,
but it's just not shot like the colour palette of the film looks nice, but a lot of the composition is just really dull. And it's the thing of, he doesn't do a lot of reverse shot over the shoulders. It's a lot of wides with everyone in it, or single camera pan dialogue, which was clearly made to minimise the amount of setups.
Yeah, I was going to say, he does use that panning single camera thing in a few.
He does it in early in Unbreakable. He does it with it because that whole scene where David's trying to flirt with the woman on the train, is shot as if it's the kid watching it from the seat in front, because it keeps panning back and forth. But that doesn't happen that much through the rest of Unbreakable. It happens fucking constantly here. Do you think the studios love him because he has that ability to reduce shooting days and things like that? Because he's definitely talented. It's just his storytelling is. It's just. Kaput. I honestly think it is a extension of just being poorly planned and executed. Like, it's not particularly well done in any sense, really. Done, very good. It's just so frustrating. It's such a frustrating movie, and if you have the means to go and see Glass, just go and see it just to try and get your head around why they made the decisions. It is one of those films where you take it to someone and you go, okay, this is how you want to make a film? Don't make any of these decisions. Don't make these cinematography decisions. Don't use these angle and shot compositions. Don't use these narrative devices. Don't have characters explain the narrative devices that you're using while you're using them because you think you're clever. It's not as clever as you think it is. Stop it. Stop it now. I don't care if it is Samuel L. Jackson saying it. Also, deconstruction of comic book tropes in movies was new in 2000 when Unbreakable came out. It's 19 years later. There's been an adaptation of Watchmen. There's been an adaptation of Kick-Ass. Heroes has been and gone. The fucking Marvel movies are self-aware. This is not only is this retreading old ground at this point, but it's doing it in a really boring, uninteresting way without the benefit of a recognisable property to leverage off. It is the least interesting way you could posit a deconstruction of superhero tropes in 2019 with the pop culture being where it is. And it's garbage. It's just bad. It's bad. It's just bad. Anyway, shall we do an email or two?
Yeah, sure.
Oh.
10 out of 10 then? Yeah.
Worst movie ever. It's not good, mate. It's not. It's not good. I don't care what anyone says.
Oh, well, now I'm going to have to dig them up the other two.
I'm
and have a
sorry.
trilogy.
I'm sorry, Mark Kermode. It's not good. I don't care what you say.
Mark Strong.
Yes, but Mark Strong. Okay. Okay. Did we get to this one last week?
I don't think we did last week. I think last week was a quiety.
Okay, yes. This one comes in from Lewis.
Hello, Lewis.
He says, "Hey up, Chris and Matt.
Hey up, lad.
I hope you both had a good Christmas / New Year. Lots of things have happened, it seems. Yeah, we're still getting New Year stuff. It's the end of January nearly. Fucking hell, it's been long.
It's been a long
year already.
Coming.
Doctor Who has been and gone, and I really, really loved it. Yes. It was really just what I needed from this show at this point in time. It's a shame that a lot of fans haven't enjoyed it, but I can see why. I find it slightly...
Maybe you can see it the same way David Dunn can see evil.
Yes. I find it slightly worrying, however, that I can't find the complete box set on DVD or Blu-ray anywhere in stores. Every supermarket I go to aren't stocking it, and neither are HMV, which is odd. Well, I'm honestly surprised there are HMVs still at this point. When Series 10... You don't usually survive your second plunge into bankruptcy. When Series 10 came out, I managed to find that bloody everywhere. Couldn't move for the piles of Series 10 box sets in supermarkets.
I think that's telling you everything, really, isn't it?
So to have the complete opposite of that for this series is strange. Let me tell you about a thing called supply and demand.
The lack of box sets selling last time probably means those places aren't stocking too many this time.
Yes.
I was in Morrison's last week, and
you poor soul.
the series, I went for brekkie.
You poor soul.
Oh, the brekkies there are amazing.
Last time I went to the cafe in Morrison's, it took 40 minutes to get, nearly an hour in fact, to get
For
a pork
reals?
on toast, yeah. I think they must have had like not enough staff or whatever, because it was just, yeah, it was fucking crazy.
Those breakfasts are deadly, though.
They are deadly.
But I went in last week, and they had the Series 11 DVD box set. They had one copy of it in for £30. But they have those sort of shelves where they can only fit like 2 DVDs on the shelf.
Because they have it all locked up in a box or something, like...
Yes, they sometimes have like the packet one, but the way the shelves are, it's like you can fit like 2 DVD boxes on the shelf. It's really odd. But I think it's because they don't sell DVDs as much as they do other things. No. So obviously someone just walks down the aisle, goes, "Oh, we've got a gap there," pops back into the stock room and brings out...
Morrison's has never really been of the supermarket chains, they've never really been one that's had a focus on like entertainment or tech.
This
or
one
anything.
used to. Do you remember it had a separate section for it?
Yeah,
it
used to have a decent size thing for it, but no. I remember it because that was where I saw the abomination that was the VHS copies of the extended Lord of the Rings movies.
Oh, jeez!
They released those on VHS.
Oh my god. You could club a baby seal with those.
Fuck yeah. Also, as I write this, I've just watched Ghost Stories after you two spoke so highly about it.
Hey.
Yes, like this. I loved it. It was such a clever film and was genuinely terrifying. Yes. I'd never seen the play, but the film was simply mesmerising, and I'm so glad I decided to watch it. Now it's on Netflix in the UK. It is, you know.
Is
it? As well.
Beautiful. I just got the Blu-ray.
I think that's about it. Bye-bye! Yeah, but you like having Blu-rays of things. So
that's true. And also, it got a wider DVD release than it did a Blu-ray one. And what annoyed me about that was the Blu-ray came with a digital copy and like 5 featurettes, whereas the DVD came with just like a featurette.
Yes.
So I wanted the Blu-ray, but the Blu-ray, because it was limited release, was like £25 for ages. It went down to 17 quid on Amazon last week, so I bought it. I was like, yes, get in my basket, son. Wonderful thing about the Blu-ray.
My basket.
Wonderful thing about the Blu-ray, the
What's
sleeve is reversible. And it's a dark colour instead of a light one. It's got all the weird spelling errors and tweaks that all the marketing had. And Lucy was looking at it and she spotted there's a hand on everyone's shoulder somewhere in the picture. That's really subtle. On the reverse sleeve, you know, like in the bit in the stage show where you see like the eye in the between behind the legs. It's like that kind of subtle. It's like, oh, that's brilliant. Even the Blu-ray box is trying to freak me out. This is great.
They really go hard on that stuff. It's a treat. They just layer it up, and so you can tell it's made with a passion for that kind of stuff,
Yeah.
that kind of material, that kind of creepy.
Jeremy
things.
Dice and Andy Diamond, they love it. And again, the film is a different telling of it than the stage show.
Yeah.
In many ways, so I would encourage dear Lewis to go and see the stage revival if possible this spring into summer.
If you can. I don't know if I'm going to be able to see it, but if you can,
we're trying to figure out.
Have a look.
Possibly how. I think it's going to have to be like a ticket lottery thing, or try and pick a matinee on a day where we can all kind of get that day off and just go down and see it. So it's a cheaper run, maybe. But it's so freaking good. Dewey Goodman, Mummy fucked a dog shit. Which plays awkwardly in every iteration of it.
Yes.
And it's just there to make you feel a false sense of comedy for a moment before it really starts to fuck with you. God, I love it. I love it so much. It's great. It's great.
Tom!
Daddy? Ugh.
Monte!
Not Tomias Montiu, Greg.
Gets us on the old emails and says...
On the old emails?
On the old emails.
Okay, and says...
Dear Chris and Matt, 5 fans, the final video is a treat to behold, but I'm also very sad to see it go. Stop. What is your all-time your favourite upload by 5 Who fans? Stop. Chris, is there anything you can say about the relaunch in May? Stop. I'm not going to do that for the whole email.
The relaunch in May.
What is your all-time favourite upload by 5 Who fans? The Male Doctor. Hands down. Hands down.
The Male Doctor's pretty phenomenal, isn't it? I'm torn because there's so many I love. I'm a little biased. I really, really like Once Upon a Time Lash, The Crimson Zone, but that's just because it's a weird little short film with you and me doing the Twilight Zone.
We had fun. We had fun doing it.
Which is a really sort of... It's just odd that it's like a program that I love. I made a version of it with 2 lovely friends and a ventriloquist doll, and there it is.
That's no way to talk about Dan.
It's when he wears a suit, man, and sits on my lap. But I also really freaking love the Male Doctor. That is just a phenomenal piece of work.
It's not only is the initial sketch brilliant, it's just Billy and Joel's explaining the sketch, explaining the sketch. Just that how. I liked seeing how far that rabbit hole they went. How far down that rabbit hole they went.
The Big Lie is another one I really like. Wake up! Man Time, the original Doctor Who.
Fanfic.
Naked of the Doctor. Clothes Make of the Madame. There's loads.
Clothes Make of the Madame was so good.
There's loads. The entirety of It's Never Omega. How to Listen to Big Finish. There's loads of them. Just anything where Livy's basically told to talk, like the videos, which is basically the videos where it's Livy just sat with Billy and Crystal, and they're just giving her titles, and she's presuming what the story's about. Just whenever Livy's on a tangent, it's so much fun.
Excellent.
What were the questions?
Is there anything you can say about the relaunch in May?
He's saying that because 4 of us had dinner the other night, and we posted a fake clip where we were discussing starting a relaunch in May called 5 Primeval Fans.
It's a fake clip.
It's a fake clip, Tom. It's a fake clip. People who go, "Why's that camera rolling? Turn it off! Don't let it load the footage."
It's over.
It's over. It's done.
It's over.
It's David done.
Just let it go.
But the channel will remain, so you were able to watch its entire legacy from now until the end of time. I've also asked the lads if they don't mind us starting just like a Flashback Friday recurring thing on social media, just posting the old vids, so that if people are missing it, they can get a random one recommended to them every Friday to check out.
Your greatest moments. Twitch presents 5 Who fans. I recently started the US version of The Office, and I'm enjoying it more than I thought I would, considering it's a rip-off of the original UK version.
I got into it because of you, because you started me on it mid-season 2.
Tom asks, have you seen either versions? If so, what's your preference? What are your thoughts on US versions of British shows in general? Okay, so the great thing about the US Office is only the first season is a rip-off of the UK version.
Yeah.
The second season, they changed the format. They cut the episodes in half. They give the background characters more to do, and they make the sort of American versions of the British characters more their own people.
Yeah. Like Dwight Series 1 is very different from Dwight the rest of the show.
Yeah. And that's when it becomes a really good show. But yeah, my advice to anyone who wants to watch the US Office, and they should because it's great, is just skip season 1. You don't need to see it. It's dog shit. Just jump in at season 2. Done.
And especially because after that point, it's definitely not a remake anymore, because several times they acknowledge the existence of the UK Office, and David Brent makes 2 appearances in the show.
Which brings me to the point of the US version of The Office is my favourite, because fuck off Ricky Gervais.
I like the original, but
fuck off Ricky Gervais.
But for me, it's the American one, because the beauty of the American one is, I know people say the Fawlty Towers rule is why the original survived so well, because it's just like 2 series and then done, but what's nice about the American ones, it's so digestible because it is 22-minute episodes. That you're like, oh, I do want a bit more, and you can have more because there's, if you're not counting season 1, a further 8 seasons of it to enjoy.
And apart from his brief appearance, it doesn't have Ricky fucking Gervais in it. And
also it survives beyond its quote-unquote main character.
Yes.
Michael Scott leaves the show. Steve Carell leaves the show, and it carries on for another 3 seasons and is still excellent.
Yes, I have not watched that far. The
guest stars they get are amazing.
Yeah. Like James Spader does it for a bit, doesn't it?
Spader does it for a bit. Idris Elba, Catherine Tate, Will Ferrell. Like, a few people dip in and fill that role for a while, and you get a few more guest stars who are people who interview for it. There's a wonderfully odd cameo from Jim Carrey that is just like, what is this? It's so fun. It's one of those where you go, no, hang on, can we see more of that? And the fact that they never gave you more of it made it better, because it was like, what was that Finger Lakes guy all about? The fuck was that for? It's great. He comes from the Finger Lakes, and he just keeps talking about it. It's so good.
What are your thoughts on US versions of British TV shows in general?
I've not watched many.
They are bad, usually.
But the majority of them, the majority of them, I think with the exception of The Office and Shameless, the majority of them die on their arse very soon.
Well, I think
it. Probably because the translation's too literal.
Yes. Well, you watch that first season of the US Office, they've literally just remade the British episodes with different names and American accents.
I mean, with the same gradient.
Yeah.
And like Carell's made to look a little bit more dishevelled. Michael Scott is a more unhappy, tragic character rather than the almost cartoony individual he is later.
Yeah.
Because later he's cartoony but with pathos.
Yeah.
Early on he's just sort of grumpier version of David Brent.
Yes.
I mean, they even like thin out his hair. They try and make him look really miserable.
It's you know,
it's so odd.
You don't have to bring everyone down to your level, Ricky. Just don't be a cunt. There we go.
Don't be a C. Don't be a C. But yes, like Red Dwarf was a pilot. Died.
I've seen little clips of that. It's bad.
There's 2 pilots for it, but only one of them I think is the one that does the rounds.
Yeah.
IT Crowd did a pilot. Doesn't work the same.
Well, both Red Dwarf and IT Crowd kept one of the British cast members.
Yeah, which is really odd. Being Human didn't work really, and I think they then renamed it and it became something else, but it just didn't do the same as Being Human did. Because it wasn't Elementary originally going to be a quote unquote American remake of Sherlock, and then they just realised no, let's just do a procedural using Sherlock Holmes as a basis. Why do we need to remake the British TV show Sherlock when we can just do our own Sherlock Holmes? So it's I just in a world where these shows are already screening in America, like why bother? Do you know what I mean? It's not like America don't like British sensibilities. If you're having to recontextualize it because you don't think Americans will buy it, don't make it.
Yeah.
Make something else. Make something new.
Yeah.
Hence why The Office Series 2 onwards works better, because it becomes the American version of that format.
Yes.
Not an American remake of it.
When
the only thing that carries over
its own thing,
is the Jim and Pam, Tim and Dawn thing.
Yeah.
That's the only similar thread from Series 2 onwards that carries over.
You get to follow that out further.
Yeah. You get to explore it more. The ambiguous ending in the original's nice, but like getting to go on that journey in the American one is sort of more satisfying in the long run.
Yes.
Benjamin.
Yes. Finally from Tom.
Not Tom Monty.
We got another email after this as well. You spoke about the new Ghostbusters last week.
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts on what Leslie Jones had to say about it on Twitter?
Oh, what did Leslie Jones have to say about it on Twitter?
So insulting. Like, fuck us. We didn't count. It's like something Trump would do. Trump voice. Gonna redo Ghostbusters. Better with Men will be huge. These women in Ghostbusters. So annoying. Such a dick move. And don't give a fuck, I'm saying something.
Oh, well, Leslie's just burned about 80,000 bridges.
Yeah.
She's in trouble. Great. Here's the thing. Again, coming from the John Bernthal POV that we spoke about earlier. Leslie, you're a cast member in a film. That film tried to be progressive, for sure, in the film landscape.
Yeah.
It was not a good movie.
No. Like, it didn't make money.
And ultimately, regardless, because opinion is subjective, but like, and we enjoyed it, we had fun.
I've rewatched it since, and like, it's not aged well.
Oh no, but there's still stuff in there to love. It wasn't a complete shitfest, but as a film, it is a terrible execution. And ultimately, the bottom line is it didn't make the money, and because it didn't make the money, another one is not going to be made.
Yeah, it ain't gonna happen.
Now the studio want to do something with that property, and Jason Reitman has a take, and the studio have gone, yeah, let's do it then. And it just happens to not be in the, the 2016 continuity.
Yeah. That tweet was a reply to something, but I can't find the original tweet.
They've probably deleted it then, the original one, because they were getting notifications.
That tweet is replying to
Sarah
Bill's Mafia, Paul Feig, Melissa McCarthy, and Sony Pictures. But I can't.
It's probably from a fan then. It's probably one of those is probably a fan, I'm assuming, that's tweeted it.
Yeah.
Like, and they're sick of the responses. They've either made their profile private or they've deleted the tweet.
Yeah, I think it must be because
I think she's made a big ass boo boo there. Really, like that's really really bad. Because if Sony then if this film does really well, and Sony then decided, you know what, we're gonna fucking merge them. We're gonna Ghostbusters universe it or whatever. Like if they then go back to that plan that they originally had of having multiple franchises. They're not going to ask Leslie back.
No.
She's really shot herself.
Paul Feig's
expressed interest.
He's standing. He's backing her.
Really? What's he saying?
Yeah, he says an absolute, honest to God, never-ending supply of bullshit and hate from these trolls. Leslie spoke her truth, and I support her. I'm very open to Jason's new version of GB, but I'm also sad that our 2016 team may not get to bust again. We all are. We're forever proud of our movie.
So what he's saying is, I agree with her, but I'm not going to say what she said because that was really stupid. He's saying, I love Leslie and I understand where she's coming from.
I think she's conflating the
internet troll
desire for a new Ghostbusters movie with like
hatred of
women. Like it's
no.
I don't.
Well, we know from the casting call information that's gone out for this that the leads are confirmed one male, two female.
It sounds like they're doing Stranger Things-esque things with it.
Yeah, which I don't hate. We'll see. That teaser that came out after we recorded last week was really nice.
Yeah.
That short teaser, like it's so well shot, and it's teasing a story. And a story that we don't have any confirmation on yet, but it's like we have an idea. So that's kind of cool. And it's also spooky. It's not coming out the gate and being goofy as fuck. It's a spooky tone to that teaser.
Yeah. Which
is kind of why the original Ghostbusters works so well. It's a comedy, but it's played straight.
But also you can't... It's just such a confluence of things that came together to make that movie what it is that you can't do it again.
Yeah, oh god, it's lightning in a ball.
Yeah,
I'm part of a very small, I've found out since the internet became a thing, sect of Ghostbusters fans who enjoys number 2.
I like Ghostbusters too, yeah.
We're in a very small club, apparently.
Because it's just, they just remade it.
Yeah.
It's fine, like...
It's a and film. It's a, and here's some more. It's not its own beast. It's very much and here's some more.
Ghostbusters Answer the Call, as I guess it's now officially called. Because Paul Feig lists it as Ghostbusters ATC in his Twitter bio.
So the home media release was a renaming then.
Yeah, that's one of those frustrating movies that's like you can see there's good ideas in there, but it just gets lost in
the crappy editing,
execution.
the bad improv,
like Glass.
The good improv
ideas
given way too much time.
Oh man, that they needed to trim that right back because it just kills any momentum the movie tries to build up.
The IDW comics have had a crossover story.
Yes,
They did a dimensional crossover story with the two, and it was very well received. So, it's not like Ghostbusters as a franchise is completely disassociating itself from the 2016 iteration.
I'd love to see another Ghostbusters with the Ghostbusters 2016 cast, but not with Paul Feig.
Yeah. With Paul Feig directing and a very strict script written by someone that they stick to.
A tighter script, a good editor, and a director who actually wants to
get a
tell a story.
horror script writer and Kristen Wiig and sit them down and go, you write the story, you write it. And that would be great.
I'll go for that. Final one comes in from Dan Rawlings, who's going back to a very, very old request we put out there.
Ooh, meats.
It's been a while since I emailed, so I'll...
Is it to do with meats?
No.
Oh. Damn it, Dan Rawlings.
Or ham sandwiches, for that matter. It's been a while since I emailed in, so I'll start with my top 3 classic Who Eps in no particular order.
Ooh, meats.
The Fine Doctors. I love it because it's one of the first bits of Doctor Who I watched and it got me super interested in the show. Was extremely disappointed to find out Herndal didn't have his own series travelling through the gardens of time and space with his pineapple and facing the terrifying threat of Susan lightly twisting her ankle. Jokes aside, it's a bit shit, boy. It smells good.
That's how he described it.
It's a bit shit, but boy, it smells good.
That is fantastic. Yeah. Yes! Dan Rawlings!
Attack of the Cybermen. This story seems to be overlooked a bit by a lot of fans. But it was another story that gave me one of my favourite Doctors and made me very interested in the show.
Do you mind if I join you?
I love the chameleon circuit shenanigans, the design of the 80s Cybermen, the sewer scene, and the literally iconic... There you go, Chris. Thick cyber leader.
2 C's and a YBERMEN.
Yeah. And the Sea Devils. A story I remember being one of the first I got on DVD and watching the shit out of it. At this point, Series 5 was coming out, and I remember being surrounded by new doctors and companions to discover. It's also one of the first that I could pay attention to and understand, which wasn't easy with TV from that era at the age of about 9. And sword fight, hell yeah.
And a ham sandwich. Or whatever the sandwich is.
I won't bang on about my thoughts on Series 11, but I found it pretty disappointing and really struggled to enjoy it. Shame, sorry Dan. 4 out of 10, I've noticed I can't summarise and describe the 13th Doctor's character as much as I had for any other Doctor before her. To be fair, it's only been 1 series so far, and I'm very glad you're enjoying it. If there's anything you would like to see change for Series 12, what would it be? For me, it's more development for Yaz, which I'm sure will happen anyway. More development for Yaz!
Absolutely. A couple stories where it is either just the Doctor or the Doctor and one of the crew.
Split the groups up a bit.
Just to give the Doctor a bit more, like you say, character time. Because at the minute, her energy is what is so appealing about her.
We don't know much about her as a person.
Yeah, the Doctor's personality is not very well defined yet.
I don't know. I feel like we've got a good sense of it now, but I get why people think that.
Yeah, like there's different types of scenarios. It'd be nice to see her play off against, so we could see how she'd react to them. Really.
Thank you.
No, thank you.
Big damn half sandwiches. Dan. Thanks for your emails, folks. Thanks for listening to this lengthy podcast. I had a lot to say about Glass.
I'm glad you did. I was fucking brilliant. I felt like I was listening to an episode of Big Damn Cast. Which is great, because I could just listen back to this at some point.
Now you can just relax. It's, just turn off, sit back, and relax. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and join us next week for more. Do we have a topic for next week yet?
Don't know if we've got a defined one.
Okay,
let's leave it up to the gods. I'll get the altar ready. You sharpen the blade.
Okay. As always, at Big Damn Cast on Twitter, bigdamcontact@gmail.com. Come along and watch Adventures in Backlogging on Twitch, twitch.tv/bigdamstream. At the moment, every Tuesday... What are you doing?
The altar.
No, it's got wheels on. Just pop the brakes. Tuesdays and Thursdays. If we're not live, it'll be on YouTube. Keep an eye on the Twitter. Also, keep an eye on the Twitter. I'm going to be putting up a poll soon to decide the next Adventures in Backlogging game, because I'll be done with Yakuza 4 soon, by the looks of it.
Not if the cutscenes have anything to say about it.
God. Just want Just want to walk around Kamurocho. But now it's raining and I can't do anything. I can't go in the batting centre. The indoor baseball batting centre because it's raining.
What? Just pass that. What? Because if you don't deal with what's in the mirror dimension before the rainfall, it's
No,
not all that.
different franchise.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks for listening, folks. Bye.
Yay, babe.